This week's episode of World Class Bullshitters is brought to you by IncarnateStudios.com. Check out IncarnateStudios.com for the latest and greatest pop culture t-shirts. Everything from TV to movies to video games to internet memes. They got them all, so don't forget to check out IncarnateStudios.com. And don't forget the hyphen. Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is Dion Green.
Brother Jeff, I have come once again due to a premonition that I had last night, and last night that premonition told me that tonight's episode will not only be victorious, it will be marvelous.
Thank you, Brother Negro. Up next, and back from the grave, Dan Kane.
Who collected the fucking Dragon Balls?
I did, and I wished for 60 heroin overdoses in Cincinnati. I don't know.
And you got me back.
Yeah, well, you know, we need you for a laugh or two.
Well, we get 2 wishes now, Dan.
Yeah, Dan will be worth it in the future. Up next, the Dr. Phil Seitz.
Doctor.
Dictor.
Doctor.
Everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Samoan, Nick Udom.
Thank you.
He used to be on a sports show, but now he's on World Class Bullshitters because sports aren't as good as World Class Bullshitters. Eric Lauderback.
Brother Negro, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, Japan 1.
You are almost very welcome.
Oh, thank you.
And finally, the personification of a Trump supporter, Dustin McNeese.
I had another out-of-body experience this week.
Oh, yeah?
My asshole prolapsed again. Trump 2016.
I don't know how to respond to that one besides sorry.
So
I do it
fresh,
to
just
myself.
so fresh.
How did it happen this time?
I eat like shit, and then it just all binds up, and then I'm pushing, and thank God I don't pull an Elvis Presley and just keel over, but it just kind of unfurls on itself like a budding flower.
You know, at this point in your life, I feel it's appropriate that you were to die on the toilet.
What other way?
I mean, you'd probably be on the toilet jerking it, trying to, take a huge dump. Your heart stops, you die with a boner, and your kids find you. It's awkward.
There better be cocaine in the system.
Or heroin.
There always is.
I smoke.
I wish.
Well, come to Cincinnati. You can get some heroin with elephant tranquilizers in it.
Yeah,
That shit's killing people. I don't know about that.
Oh, I know. 60 overdoses, man.
they're all pussies.
So, this week has not been that big for pop culture. Tonight's show centers around everyone's favorite topic, Star Wars. But before we get into that, let's talk about some news. Dan, you got some news?
I do. It has been reported that people have found the center of the galaxy in No Man's Sky, and since it's kind of pointless and boring, the percentage of people playing the game since launch has dropped 90%.
Oh,
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
Good God.
So you're saying I should go get it tomorrow?
It's like a car wreck you can't look away from.
Exactly. That's why I want to get it tomorrow.
According
To my cousin Tyler, he went out and bought a PlayStation 4 just for No Man's Sky. Go Tyler.
Talk about biggest waste of money.
Right.
Not as big as an Xbox One waste of money, but yeah, close.
Well, I mean, I've had no problems with my Xbox One.
You've also had no fun with your Xbox One.
I actually have had plenty of fun with my Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Masturbating.
So?
Bill, you are the #1 proponent of the Xbox One, not just on this show, but on the fucking planet. I remember when
to masturbate.
I just remember when that Xbox came to my college, and you're like, Xbox is at your college? I'll be right there. And you drove across town just to sample Xbox One before it came out.
I was pumped.
I was disappointed.
You're always disappointed.
Oh, Xbox 360 was a great system, man, but Xbox One, it's like Xbox 360.5.
Oh no, there are horrible problems with it. Like the one I have, it'll stop in the middle of a game just because the hard drive will just shut off or whatever. It'll just stop. It sucks.
I've literally had none of these issues that you're talking about.
All one that he talked about?
Yes.
Yeah, all one I talked about.
All one of them.
I mean, I don't even know how to eject my disc sometimes from the damn thing. It's so fucking complicated.
I mean, it's really not.
Is
It's
it-
all about affordances and, like, observation and, like, looking at
I was just say there's one goddamn button on the front of the console. You
So I
can't
have to get
figure
up and
out how to
touch
push
it? I have to get up and eject my own disc. What the fuck is this? This is 2016, goddammit.
You
Nick,
don't have to
would
do
you
that with a PlayStation 4. You can just hit eject and it kicks it out for you guys. Thanks.
There
I
you
know.
go. There you go.
Would you
Oh,
prefer
sorry, I
that
guess
you
I'm
press
kinda
a button
lazy
and it's
piece of
shot
shit.
out?
Yeah, it would make things more interesting because then it would be like one of those things you have to prepare for. You just press a button and it shoots across the room.
It's a game in itself.
Yeah, it's a game in itself. I mean, then you'd have to constantly rebuy games, but what's the fun in that?
That's true. Nick, you're a talky guy. Tell us some news.
Well, I just heard about some new updates for YouTube. Apparently, they're going to launch something called Backstage.
Ugh.
Since they're so big in video, they're trying to get more of the community involved in talking to YouTubers and content creators and things like that, as opposed to Facebook, which already does that and you communicate with a lot of people. This is going to be where the YouTubers can post polls, links, ideas, and you can communicate with them by sending them messages and pictures and videos as well. Because I remember way back, so many years ago, it seems like there used to be video responses to that people could record to other subscribers and things like that. But it's supposed to roll out in the fall and be put in across the board by the end of the year.
YouTube is
So
trash.
every other forum ever out there.
Well, it says in the article that they're trying to not step on Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter, but they're totally fucking trying to.
Those bastards.
Dustin's like, YouTube is trash. You guys realize that's where our videos are, right?
Well, it is fucking trash, though. All the people that spend their days on YouTube watching stupid-ass videos, fuck them. Fuck YouTube.
By the
Thanks
way,
for subscribing, everybody.
By the way, we're on SoundCloud now,
Woo!
so you can check that out.
Please record your video responses in the comments below when you can.
There's just one problem with SoundCloud. There's a limit of 3 hours, so we have one video on SoundCloud. So every week, I will take an episode down and upload a new one. So,
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
kind of lame.
hey, I'm not going to pay a lot a year to put the podcast on there. We'll go through Podbean, pay one fee.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, Nick, what else you got?
I do have another article about a movie, Trick or Treat. Michael Daughtry has recently come out about making a part 2, and apparently it kind of makes me sad, but the first one came out almost 10 years ago in 2007. But he's trying. He's writing the part 2 right now. He's getting the skits together, and he wants to make it, instead of just making Halloween in like one time in one city, he wants to make it in a different time in a different city. And there's so many stories that you can tell in that genre for that holiday because it spans so much time. And he's working on part 2 right now. He's in the process of writing it, and he wants to make it as soon as possible and make it really good, and then hopefully make a part 3 as well.
I feel like 10 years is just too long to wait.
It is, and I mean, it was an original idea, and it was made in 2007 and released in 2009 because they thought there was no market for it. That's the thing, because of it being an original idea and things like that, they shelved it for 2 years. There were a couple of very limited showings in bigger cities, but that was it. And then eventually it came out in 2009. And it was only on DVD and Blu-ray. You couldn't go actually in a theater and watch it.
I saw it on Netflix, and I wasn't that impressed. But from the people at the horror conventions, clearly they were, because I see all those little kids dressed like Trick or Treat Sackboy. So.
Oh, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's making this movie?
The same guy who made the first one.
What was his name?
Michael Daughtry.
Oh, I loved him on American Idol.
Wait, you watch American Idol?
Wow.
I think that's the bigger question.
You can do tons of shit in your life. You can possibly beat people, possibly kill people. You can do all those terrible, horrible things. But the moment I find out you watch American Idol,
You can do heroin, dude. Come on.
yeah, I'm disappointed.
I'm saying you guys don't think I shoot up heroin while watching American Idol and beating my wife.
I
I
don't
can
think-
multitask.
Well,
I
just
don't
shut
think
up
you can
heroin.
afford heroin.
Dues.
Whoa! That shit's like $10 a hit.
Oh, it is? I didn't know. I don't do drugs. I don't know what drugs cost.
I'm
I
offended.
don't know about all
You
that,
thought I was
but-
too poor for street drugs.
Well, I mean, you do live in the meth capital of the Midwest, so I assumed that, you get a discount.
True.
And I used to live in the meth capital of the South. Good God.
Dan used to live by a fucking meth lab.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it blew up.
See,
I'm sure he still does. He just doesn't know it.
meth brought us together, gentlemen.
The funny thing is, Phil, you live a mile from Dan, so technically
I
you
know.
live by a meth lab.
We
too.
all live next to a meth lab in some way or another.
It's a variation of that old Beatles song about us all living in a yellow submarine.
We all live near a giant meth lab.
What?
Giant meth lab.
Huh?
Giant meth lab.
All right, Dion. You got some news, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. The movie Departed. A lot of people are in love with that movie. Came out in 2006, I believe. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Amazon is in development for a TV series that they are indeed moving forward. It's not a sequel, but it will be another undercover cop series about a guy in Chicago trying to sneak into a Latino gang.
I don't know how well that'll work. I mean, The Departed was very dark and gritty, and I don't know if they can do all that.
And they all died.
Yeah.
Every single
Right.
one of them died.
Right.
Well,
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
It was a great
I don't
movie.
watch a lot of. I don't watch a lot of Amazon shows, but we'll see, man. I mean, they're trying to, obviously try to compete with Netflix now. So
Are you not watching
see how
The
that
Tick?
goes. No, I should be watching The Tick.
No, you shouldn't. The Tick is garbage. The cartoon was awesome, but that live-action Patrick Warburton shit. Ugh.
It was really bad, but so what we got, man?
Also, something I watched on Netflix recently that I thought was really good was The Get Down.
Oh,
you're-
is that the
I heard
hip-hop-
that was pretty good.
Yeah, like I binge watched it yesterday, and it was pretty damn awesome. It's about South Bronx in the 70s and like the start of hip hop, start of DJing, and the start of rap and everything, and how that has all come together. It's not really it's not like a true life account of anything. It's just like this is how it happened.
How's the soundtrack?
The soundtrack's awesome. There's a lot of it's almost like a story of Grandmaster Flash, really.
Oh, okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I know.
And
one song.
and him teaching like another guy to be a DJ like him.
Oh, okay.
And the things they have to deal with being in South Bronx and growing up, and the sacrifices they have to make, and it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. And what really sucks is that this is only part 1 that's on Netflix. Part 2 is coming out in 2017.
Yeah.
So you gotta wait a really long fucking time for part 2.
Well, I gotta take care of my grandma this coming week. Maybe I'll put it on at her house and make her watch it.
There you go.
She'll hate it. Dion, what else you got?
Oh, the Legion TV show that will be coming out here pretty soon is going to quote unquote relate to the X-Men movies. It also will relate to an upcoming unnamed X-Men TV show.
Yeah, fuck Fox and the X-Men. They've kind of screwed the pooch.
Oh yeah,
So many
for
times.
sure. For sure.
I'm not even excited anymore. There's
No.
just nothing left to do.
I don't know. They've just proved that they just don't really
Give a shit.
get the property that they fucking have control of, and it's fucking depressing.
I mean, the only reason Deadpool was this hit is because, they just let it go. They didn't even
Right.
try to get involved with Deadpool. They're just like, oh, you guys do whatever you want.
I just think that Fox gave them the go-ahead on that film just because so many people asked for it. And they gave it a really low budget, and they're like, this won't do anything. This won't do very well. And then they proved them wrong, and it turned out to be a great film. And I guess that's a rarity with Fox. I don't understand why they just give Marvel back the movies they need and let them do what they need to, because they clearly are besting you in everything that they're making right now.
Phil, did you know that Fox still owns the rights to the first Star Wars movie?
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Forever, technically, they could keep it because it's a 20th Century Fox film. So they own the distribution rights.
That's terrible.
But the other ones are all with Disney. So, I mean, Disney can do shit, and I'm sure they're playing ball in that respect, but technically Fox owns the first Star Wars movie, and I believe with the right legal team, they could just release, their own cut. They could release the original cut if they wanted to on Blu-ray.
They should.
Yeah, I agree. It would just
No.
be nice to have originals.
Only good thing Fox would ever do.
Actually, what they should do, they should have a showing of the first one across theaters across the U.S. That's what they need to do. Across all the theaters in the U.S., they need to have a couple of weekends when they show the first one in its entirety. Not the recut one they did recently, but the old original cut.
There was a Technicolor print coming around somewhere, and then I heard Lucasfilm seized it, but somebody had a Technicolor print from the 70s, and they were showing it at special midnight screenings, and it looked amazing. You've never seen Star Wars look that good.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know much about the film process, but I do know that the Technicolor print looked beautiful. So, Dion, do you think this Legion show will be better than a Lethal Weapon show?
That's hard. That's hard to say. I mean, Lethal Weapon, even though I've heard it isn't that bad, I watched like a little bit of the pilot episode, and it looked like shit. So, I mean, if it's less shitty than the first shitty one, the Lethal Weapon show, I mean, I guess they've won the day.
I just saw a commercial for Fox. It's like Lethal Weapon, The Exorcist, Fox. I'm like, so basically, your commercial says, we don't have any original ideas. We're just going to make TV shows based off a film from the 70s and then a series that started in the 80s, and we're going to say it's brand new and hip, and Damon Wayans is our first fucking choice.
It sounds like the creative team from WWE is now working for the creative team at Fox.
Well, at least the creative team at Fox isn't going to give us different colors of the same shows.
This just in, Fox rebooting Tango and Cash again.
I don't know, Tango Cash is pretty awesome, man. I love Tango and Cash.
You laugh, it will happen, okay?
Yeah,
This
that's true.
just in, Fox rebooting 2.5 Men.
This time, all female cast is going to be called 2.5 Cunts.
Oh, goddamn.
You just assume their gender?
Good job, Dan. That was a good joke. Loudy, speaking of assuming, I assume that you have some news for today.
Oh, I guess I have something. But...
Great segue, Jeff.
Yeah, great segue. Good assumption, though. First thing I got here is a little bit of Samsung news. So, for those of us who have Android, which I feel like is a good deal of us, and have Samsungs, which is, again, a good deal of us, as of September 22nd, if you use Milk Music, guess what? You're fucked like Chuck, because they are going to terminate that service, and they're going to invest their time into something else with some other partner that they have. So no more Milk Music if you happen to find that as something you utilize a lot. It's already been shut down.
All right, so are you telling us that we got to switch over to Tidal? Like Jay-Z and Kanye and all those guys' music program?
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I love Tidal.
No, really, it's just another internet like music streamer. So, I mean, your Pandoras, your Spotify's and shit like that.
It sucks, by the way. I have it. I've used it.
Didn't even notice it existed.
It's on your phone, dude.
Yeah.
Clearly never used it.
Yeah, the only thing Phil uses is the 4K function on his phone.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
4K. But yeah, no, I used to use it a lot, and then I just kind of stopped using it when I purchased YouTube Red, because it also gave me Google Play Music for free. So I was like, hey, I have all this now. I don't have to worry about ads and shit like I do with this. So guess I don't need this anymore.
Why would you ever pay for YouTube? I know we're on YouTube, and I'm sure that helps us in some way, but...
Yeah. Well, it started off as a free trial, and, there are some things that I do listen to on YouTube, and I would like to turn my phone off so that my battery doesn't go that fast. So it's nice to be able to turn my phone onto, dark mode and be able to listen to something off of YouTube.
Fair enough.
Plus, no ads.
Why it's got to be dark mode?
Because,
Are you assuming his race?
I am assuming his race. All right. Second bit of news that I got comes out of, let's see here, the University of Chicago. They don't condone safe spaces or trigger warnings. So pretty much stop being a pussy and fucking deal with it.
I should go to school there.
Good job, Chicago.
One of the things someone commented, it's about time that a university administration stood up to the bullies who were trying to repress free speech on campus. But yeah, let's see here. There was a welcome letter to the freshmen, and they made it very clear they don't condone safe spaces or trigger warnings. If you'd like, I can read it to you. If not, we can post a link in the description, and you guys can do it on your own time.
We could do that. Are there any highlights you'd like to glean from it real quick?
1 second here.
Wait, there's no more trigger warnings? Triggered.
Hashtag triggered.
Triggered. Here we go. Our commitment to academic freedom means that we do not support so-called trigger warnings. We do not cancel invited speakers because their topics might prove controversial, and we do not condone the creation of intellectual, quote-unquote, safe spaces where individuals can retreat from ideas and perspectives at odds with their own.
No safe spaces? Hashtag
I like that, though. All joking aside, I think that is a step in the right direction, because I don't get it, man. Dion, that kind of shit, like, no one said triggered or all that other shit when we went to college, and we went to college, not that long ago.
That's true. That is true.
That's because now people going to college are bitches.
But I graduated from college 2.5 years ago. This wasn't shit I was going through. I just don't realize how in the last 2 years the world's gone full retard.
I mean, shit, Jeff.
I mean,
a year ago, and I didn't have to deal with it a year ago.
Oh God, that's ridiculous.
Trigger.
You never go full retard.
You never go full trigger.
Yeah, I don't get it. And those pussy motherfuckers who go to college and are keep saying triggered and safe space and things like that, they just need to really get some fucking balls and deal with life, because after college you are fucked.
Danger zone.
Triggered. Yeah, because older people aren't going to put up with your bullshit.
Exactly. I mean, you're not going to go
into...
Yeah, because I mean, you're gonna go into a job, the first one you get, and yeah, you're gonna hear and be around some offensive shit, and you just gotta fucking deal with it because it's your first job and you gotta pay off that goddamn student loan. So shut up and do your fucking job.
Well, they're gonna be like, I don't like. Oh, last week, by the way, real quick, some fans sent me an article about Sausage Party, and these people that commented on the article could not handle the real world. It's on our Facebook page. If you're a member of the show or a fan of the show that listens or is on Facebook, check it out. You can see the ultimate definition of people who can't handle life without trigger warnings.
Sausage Party, #triggered.
Dustin, you and I should do a segment each week called Life Without Trigger Warnings, where we say something really offensive set to really nice, pleasant music.
The same but I think says something offensive every week anyway.
I joined in on that too.
No. So I was thinking... When I think of triggered and safe spaces, that'd be a perfect spot for a mass shooting, wouldn't it?
God!
It is called Triggered.
But I'm pissed.
People
say triggered one more time.
People still don't triggered. People still don't understand that you're being sarcastic in that Iron Woman video.
Whoa, who said I was being sarcastic?
All right, Loudy, you said you got one piece of news, or are you good?
No, those are my two pieces of news.
Phil.
I have a couple pieces of news. The first two deal with movies. Paramount has put the brakes on the Mission Impossible 6. Nobody has confirmed the exact reason, but sources behind the scenes at Paramount say Tom Cruise is holding out for a bigger payday. Word is Tom Cruise would pay a ridiculous amount of money for Universal's reboot of The Mummy, which wrapped filming earlier in August and is due out next summer. Paramount is also very hesitant on moving forward with the untitled Mission Impossible sequel due to poor performance from sequels and remakes this summer at the box office. Paramount has not had a good year at the box office, with flops like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, which came in just short of budget, the new movie remake Ben-Hur, which had over $100 million budget and is set to be the studio's biggest flop in 20 years.
Jesus!
It's barely pulled in $15 million on opening weekend. This disappointment also includes TMNT Out of the Shadows and Star Trek Beyond just sneaking in over budget this summer. Paramount doesn't think a large investment in Part 6 of the franchise would be such a wise decision at this point. Tom Cruise winning a bigger paycheck may have just put the final nail in the coffin of the Mission Impossible franchise. We shall see.
Good.
I
like Mission Impossible, but let greed get the best of it, and then, let the fans' backlash towards Tom Cruise intensify.
I like Tom Cruise.
You do?
I do. I watched Edge of Tomorrow with him and Emily Blunt, and he made me a fan. I was pissed at myself.
Edge of Tomorrow, that was the one where he kept reliving the same day over, right?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Excuse me, sir, you mean Live, Die, Repeat?
There are 3 titles for that movie. No,
excuse me, sir, you mean All You Need Is Kill.
That sounds like a poor man's James Bond flick.
No. What you mean is
All You Need Is Kill.
The futuristic version of Groundhog Day.
Minus the heart.
The movie version of Halo?
Not even close.
Yeah, Phil, that was stupid.
Anyway, Phil, keep it going. You killed that joke. Keep going.
The Rock sent out a tweet on Saturday night. Fast and Furious 8 has officially wrapped filming. The Rock went on to thank many of his co-stars and set crew, even thanked the movie studio. It's notable, however, to mention that he left out Vin Diesel in his gratuitous rant. Guess that he never did squash that beef with him. Anyway, the more notable news that comes out of this, Dwayne said in his tweet, in the next 2 weeks, he will return with his his Central Intelligence co-star Kevin Hart, and he will reunite with Jack Black to begin filming Jumanji, which is set to release in holiday 2017.
I hope it flops.
But he was very specific in his tweet to point out, we're going to introduce a whole new generation to the amazing world of #Jumanji. Quote unquote, for the record, we are not making a reboot, but rather a continuation of the awesome Jumanji story.
Here's the thing. We're going to introduce you to the world of Jumanji.
God.
It's a movie that takes place over the course of an afternoon. Okay, the movie stretched it out far enough, given a backstory to Alan Parrish. The movie's about those two kids, and then it ends. Rock, what the fuck are you doing, man? Go make another Tooth Fairy.
It doesn't matter what he's doing.
Well, see, here's what they should do. They should do what they did with Zathura. Make a different movie along the same, board game kind of idea. Make it something. Make a completely different board game movie. That's it.
Maybe The Rock needs to focus on making a truly great film instead of just trying to inject himself into other franchises. I don't think The Rock has been the star of a truly great film. Everything he's been in, he's been good, but he's never been in a great movie.
I disagree. I really liked him in that movie Faster.
Never saw that one.
It was not that big of a deal.
Yeah, he said great movie, Phil, not like
fuck you
mediocre
guys. I thought
movie.
it was a great movie.
Well, I thought Snitch was a good movie. Not great, but good.
It was good.
Gridiron Gang was a great movie.
And I loved what was the one where he's doing the cocaine?
Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain. I love that movie. Not the greatest movie. It's good, but not great. I mean, he needs something. He needs an iconic character. Here's the thing. His iconic character is The Rock. He's too big to be in these movies because, people like me who have liked him since before he was an actor, it's like, oh, it's The Rock. I don't care what his character's name is. It's like, oh, so, so-and-so, and then The Rock was there. Like, it could be talking about Paul Walker's character in Fast and Furious, and then it's The Rock, It's not Dominic Toretto and The Rock's character's name. It's Dominic Toretto and The Rock. So, I think he's in a weird place. I don't think he'll be in a bunch of movies and make a bunch of money, but he'll never have a truly great role because he's just The Rock and he's already a part of pop culture.
Are you saying he'll be the Triple H of the movie business?
No. He'll be the Hulk Hogan of the movie
But
business.
who's he going to hold down, Dion?
Yeah, that's a good point.
For 5 years.
What racial slur is he going to make, Dion?
Oh, God. I mean, they tried making him an iconic character with Hercules, and that didn't fucking go anywhere.
No, it was.
See, that's the thing. That's another great example. I like Hercules a lot. It was a decent movie. But as far as being, Arnold Schwarzenegger has fucking Predator. He has all the. He has
Running Man. He's got Terminator. He's got all kinds of shit.
Exactly.
Man,
Jingle all the way.
Sylvester Stallone has fucking Rambo. Has fucking The Rock. At least the first two Rocky movies. All these great action stars have at least one great movie they can hang their hat on. Rock still has wrestling. It's just very funny to me that he's, in good movies, but he's not in the same league as Arnold yet.
Yeah, I think he was gonna be. Then he signed up for all those fucking Disney movies.
Yeah.
Oh, that really killed it. That really killed it.
Bombed onto some. I mean, he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood now, which is your ultimate goal in any career. But I hate to say this, but at the end of the day, he's never gonna be what I consider a good actor. Or a great actor, just there. I don't think we'll ever get this huge performance out of him.
Well, then he signed on behind, say what you want to say. He's a great addition to Fast and the Furious. I mean, I don't like those movies that much, but those are Vin Diesel's movies. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Those are not The Rock's movies. Those are Vin Diesel's movies. And, he hasn't cemented himself as an action great yet. And
what did I say to you, Dion, when I watched those movies? For as much as I love The Rock in real life, I'm always cheering on Vin Diesel in those movies because it's been 15 years, and I've been associated with Vin Diesel and Dominic Toretto. The Rock just shows up one day, and it's like, oh, you're opposing the characters I like, and now you're friends, but and he has the dumbest scenes in the movie. The dumbest Fast and Furious moment is when he gets out of bed and he flexes out of his cast, and he takes a fucking chain gun off a helicopter and uses it without a firing mechanism. Come on.
Well, see, and I mean, you mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger. Most of the movies that he's in that we've seen in the 80s and 90s and some of the 2000s are rewatchable. You can rewatch them. As shitty as they are and as shitty as acting might be, as crazy and over the top they are, they're rewatchable and you love them.
Rewatchable? You're underselling them, dude. Some of them are fucking classics.
Oh,
Predator?
no.
Terminator 2.
No. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, of course
Kindergarten Cop.
Again, Phil, you're killing the goddamn flow of the show.
Twins.
I'm triggered!
If you say Junior, I'm kicking you off this fucking show permanently.
Junior, what about Junior?
You're...
Take him off.
No, but Nick, Schwarzenegger had classic films.
Oh, no,
The Rock
he
has
did,
never had a
he did.
classic
And
film.
I'm not saying they weren't classics. I'm just saying rewatchability and they're iconic. Of course they're fucking classics.
Yeah,
You know, Rock has none of that. None of his movies are classics and barely rewatchable.
yeah, I don't ever have the urge to sit down and go, man, I would love to watch a movie with The Rock. Like when I had you get me those movies, did I have you get me anything with The Rock in it?
No.
I own one movie with The Rock, and that's Fast and Furious 5. I don't own Walking Tall or any of those other movies because I don't care to watch them. They're not that great. And if I want to see The Rock doing what he does best, I'll pop on the WWE Network and I'll watch him lay the smackdown on somebody. I don't.
That's a good point, Jeff. That's a good point. Do you think that's what's really killing The Rock's career? If we want to watch a better version of Rock, we can just turn on the WWE Network? I mean, even if it's inadvertent, do you think that that's kind of the thing that's really holding him back is the fact that everything else that he's done is accessible, you know, within 5 seconds of thinking that you want to watch it?
I agree. I do. The one thing I'll say, I don't think it's killing his career because he has, a ton of money. But I don't think of The Rock. The Rock isn't really like an actor. He's like a pop culture icon. He's almost like a fictional character that's, it's like if Superman was a real person, how he would be in all this different shit. Because like when you read a comic, Superman will appear on TV, he'll show up on this or that. You know what I'm saying? Like The Rock's like a real life version of that. He kind of just shows up and does all these things. He's not like a Robert Downey Jr. type of thing where like he's an actor's actor. Big performance on the screen, and he's larger than life outside of the off camera. The Rock's just kind of there as The Rock. It's the same shit. It's never. I don't know how to describe it better than you.
No. I think I think that's a good point for sure.
It'll just be interesting to see where he goes with this Jumanji bullshit because I'm not interested. Like I always say, love The Rock, got all his fucking merchandise and shit. Never rush out to see his movie on the first day.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing that bothers me about that is that what he said in the tweet and that they're making it for a new generation. Why the fuck do they keep doing that? Quit making shit for a new fucking generation. They don't need it. They can watch the old shit. All the good old shit gets remade into DVDs, Blu-rays, Ultra HD DVDs, whatever the fuck. They can find it. It's fine. They can watch the old shit. Come up with some original bullshit, goddammit.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Okay, let's say I'm a parent with 7 kids and I made bad decisions. I got a job at Coca-Cola and I'm not making too much money. If I'm out at Kroger and I see Jumanji for $5 and I know that was a good movie as a kid, I'm going to buy that for my kids and take it home and show it to them. I'm not going to go and say, oh, they're remaking Jumanji and take 5 or 4 kids or whatever I said in that fucking opening and take them all to see a movie in IMAX and all that other dumb shit.
No, yeah, because the $5 movies, it's $5. If you take them to the theater, let's say IMAX, that's probably $8 per kid. Then they're going to want candy and drinks, and they're going to be loud, and it's going to be a horrible fucking experience for you.
Well, I think that part, that's not the fault of The Rock. That's the fault of the movie industry. That's just where movies are going. But
no, I'm
but
just
as far as
elaborating because it's funny. That's it.
Right, no, for sure. But I mean, obviously, it wasn't that funny.
I'm sorry. If you ever take kids to a movie and it's not a kids movie, just fucking kill yourself, okay?
Hey, my dad took me to see Starship Troopers. God damn it! Don't you
But if
ever
they're
I saw Starship Troopers in theaters too. Fuck off.
Like Sausage Party. If you take a kids at Sausage Party thinking it's going to be a CGI animated kids movie,
there were kids in our theater, Nick.
Go fuck yourself.
There were at least 3 kids in our theater.
True story.
True story. I'm sure there was.
Fucking high school kids. And there was one girl sitting next to me was like, it was the beginning of the movie. She's like, oh my god, I thought this was going to be a kid's movie. I literally looked at her, I'm like, well, you're fucking wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, did you not look at the fucking rating? That's why they have these goddamn things.
Look at the movie poster.
And I'm sure she's got a fucking smartphone. She could have looked it up beforehand or watched the trailer beforehand.
No, that requires people to do work. They just want to exist.
Use your brain, America. Come on.
All right, Phil, you got any other news?
I do. One small piece of news not many people care about. The Raiders filed for a trademark on the Las Vegas Raiders, but that doesn't.
Yay!
We'll see. Anyway,
No, I'm not talking about like them moving. I'm talking about sports, obviously.
well,
My
You know,
favorite
stuff
audio
like
clip
this
of this
really
entire.
makes them-
Look at my
stuff
favorite.
like this-
Just go ahead and say what you got to say, but you got to speak louder. Because your mic cuts in very softly.
Okay.
There you go.
It's instances like that that truly make me wish that you did pull an Elvis Presley prolapse and die on your fucking toilet.
Sports are fucking gay. The viewers don't give a shit about sports, and if they do, fuck
I'm sorry,
them.
I can't hear you over the click of your computer while you're looking up dicks.
I've never heard
Sports are-
that joke. Not any of the past 20 fucking episodes.
Because it still works, dick looker.
Dustin, I'm on your side, and I was gonna say my favorite moment of this entire show isn't all these other dumb, retarded jokes. It's I gotta say something gay, and everyone's like, "What?" And you're like, "Sports," and we all just laugh. That's my favorite class bullshitters moment. Anyway, Phil, is that all you got?
last piece of news. Sony's announced that they will hold a press conference on September the 7th at 3 o'clock at the PlayStation Theater in New York. Sony has confirmed it will announce their slimline PlayStation 4, and they are rumored to announce a launch date and hopefully a price point for the next Sony console, codenamed Neo. Sony claims the Neo will support 4K functions as well as support a PlayStation VR. This has a lot of people confused, as Sony fans are clamoring that the PlayStation 4 will also support a PlayStation VR. So why are they making a slimline? Rumor is that the PlayStation 4, the slimline will come out this year along with the PlayStation VR, as well as the Neo will come out in fall of next year. Some people are thinking maybe the consoles are 2-in-1. I don't know.
I have no interest in buying a new PlayStation 4. I barely have used mine yet. I still want a couple of years out of it.
I'm thoroughly confused just because okay, you're why are you going to announce a slimline just to compete with Xbox?
But
You're
Phil,
still beating.
But Phil, it's got 4K in it, man. Come on.
I don't give a fuck about the 4K in the PlayStation.
No, the Xbox. No, the thing is, I think a PlayStation 4 Slim is one of the worst ideas. One, the PlayStation 4 is fucking tiny. It's not a very big system. I mean,
it's not.
most of us have one, and you've seen one in person, Phil. That system is, I'm not going to measure it. I'm looking right at it. It's not very big. My printer is bigger than that system, and I've seen the PlayStation 4 Slim. It's ugly as fuck. What do you guys think of it?
I don't care. I mean, haven't they been doing Slims for a while now? They'll come up with one, and then there'll be like the Slim version of it.
Oh, yeah.
A little while later.
Well, I don't have a problem with doing slim versions of consoles. It's what these mid-gen upgrades are the problem for me. There's a new PlayStation 4 that's going to have 4K picture resolution and 60 frames a second guaranteed and all this other shit. That's not going to... It's the same fucking system with a slight upgrade. I don't have a 4K television. I have a 1080p LED television. I'm not upgrading, so I don't need a newer system to play technology that's not even the world's ready to accept yet. This is like the 3D TV craze. It's not going to last.
Yeah, I agree with you with that because 4K, the whole process of trying to get it into somebody's home and into regular usage is ridiculous, and it's going to take forever to even get there.
No, I mean, Blu-ray took a while. I mean, still DVDs are selling like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, physical media is kind of on the downturn, but DVDs and Blu-rays are still being sold. Even with Netflix and Hulu and things like that, like physical media is still being sold.
Is that it for you, Phil?
Yeah, that would be it.
One quick piece of news I actually found that I forgot to mention before we let Dustin close it out. Dion, this one's for you.
Ooh.
Eddie Murphy was interviewed this week by Access Hollywood, and they asked him when Beverly Hills Cop 4 was coming out. Would you like to know what he said?
Oh, fuck. I kind of don't, but you're going to have to tell me anyway.
It's good, he said. They've approached me multiple times, and I've only said no because I've made a bunch of shitty movies. And he's like, if I'm going to go out, I want to make a good movie. He's like, I'll make it as soon as it's a good script. So Eddie Murphy wants to make it because he said they would have made it years ago just to make it, and it would have made money. He's like, but I want to make a good movie. He's like, I made bullshit. He's like, I know what bullshit is. So, Eddie,
God damn.
This news was good for me because, one, it shows me that Eddie Murphy is self-aware that his movies have been bad, and two, he wants to return to his most famous character that little Jeff Hicks at the age of 7 fell in love with. So,
Oh my god, that makes me so goddamn happy right
You
now.
guys need to somehow like get his attention and write part 4.
we'll send him my episode
Please
Jeff
do
already
that.
wrote part
Please
4.
do that. Please do that.
Shit. We'll take some payment, but it's a caveat that all of us got to be in the movie.
Right? I mean, obviously we're gonna get paid for this, but we also have to be in the shit. Thanks,
We're gonna be in the nightclub scene. We're gonna have it's gonna be all of us in one of those round booths with a big titted stripper dancing for us, and we'll just have World Class Bullshitters t-shirts on.
Or
You can't top that. You can't get much better than that. That's a federal tax stamp.
it is. Or to help out Nick, it could be a strip club massacre cameo.
God, I wish you guys had come down that Sunday. It was pretty fucking awesome.
Our Sunday, we were drunk as shit. But you know what? We'll talk about that more off air. Dustin, would you please close out the news for us?
Sure. So Tony Stark's history continues to be retconned, as his longtime parents have been replaced with a British DJ named Amanda Armstrong and, as revealed in the latest issue of International Iron Man, a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent named Jude. They're both white, for now.
Wait, so Howard and Maria Stark aren't his parents anymore?
Nope.
Fuck Iron Man.
He was adopted, apparently, by people that have the same facial features as him. And, yeah, he's been replaced with a DJ and some generic S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Who's the writer on this piece of shit book?
Didn't know, don't care.
Fuck you, Marvel. Fuck you, writer. Fuck you, artist, for drawing the fucking script. Fuck you, printer. Fuck you, Joe Quesada. Fuck anyone that's associated with that company. Got any more Marvel news?
I got 3 more.
All right, cool.
So Doctor Strange, just like Disney's Rogue One and Warner Brothers' Suicide Squad, is getting reshoots. Even though the film is only 10 weeks away from its theatrical release, Marvel Studios has just brought on community creator Dan Harmon to write additional scenes for the forthcoming flick. The film releases November 4th this year.
Is this going to be Marvel's first flop?
I hope so. I hate that fucking ugly-ass Benedict Cumberdick or whatever his name is.
I love that guy. He's so fucking talented.
He's so ugly.
This is true. I would not fuck him, if he was the last man on Earth. But I'm just saying, he's a good actor.
I would like
what
him
was
to
he
play
in
James
fucking Doctor Who and all that other queer Harry Potter shit?
I think he was in Sherlock Holmes.
He was Sherlock, yeah, he was Sherlock.
Yeah.
He never did Doctor Who. I don't think he was in that gay Harry Potter shit either.
Speaking of upcoming Marvel films, 3 female directors have made the shortlist to direct the Captain Marvel movie. Nikki Caro, who directed Whale Rider, Leslie Linka Glatter, who directed True Blood, and Lorene Scafaria, who directed The Meddler, are the final 3 in the running for the movie, which follows the adventures of titular character Carol Danvers, who's being played by Oscar winner Brie Larson. The script was written by Guardians of the Galaxy's Nicole Perlman and is set for release March 8th, 2019. The list used to have 2 others, females, of course, one of who directed Kung Fu Panda 2 and the other who directed Babadook. But it's like an all-female thing. How do you guys feel about that?
It's retarded. You can have anyone make a Captain Marvel movie. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's a man or a woman, but to keep that narrative rolling, strong female woman, made by women, blah blah blah. It's retarded.
Why don't they just have an all-woman cast as well and all do all that shit? Cast and crew all women, just really fucking hammer that home.
Have all the special effects artists be women too.
Exactly.
Have a single man make that movie.
Yeah, just like no dick touches movie. Have that stamp on the fucking DVD.
And they should even have it that only women can go see it too. Guys aren't allowed to watch it.
Exactly. Just do that. Women can have the day off and go watch the fucking movie.
Marvel posts the biggest weekend drop off in history. Like the 12 women that wanted to go see it saw it, and then no one else gave a shit.
No. All the 12 women in there go watching. They're like, I don't get it.
I don't care. It's like these things are like usually it's dudes that want to go see them, and then they drag their girlfriends or kids with them. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. Fuck it. Comic books were written for dudes. It's kind of a dude culture thing. Yeah, there are women that are involved with it. It's like, guys that are into My Little Pony. Yeah, you're gay, but there are guys that are into it.
That's true.
I can't stand that shit. If you're a brony and you listen to this show, let me know in the comments. I will ban you from this channel forever. I think that's retarded. It's like you had to have a woman direct Wonder Woman. Who gives a shit? A guy could have directed it. A chick could have directed Ant-Man. I don't care. Like, at this
just
point,
do
Marvel
your fucking job. That's it. God damn it.
Marvel movie directors aren't even really, with the exception of the Russo brothers and Joss Whedon, they don't really have a lot of say. Well, Jon Favreau did, but his ass got canned.
Yeah.
Marvel movies are good. All of them are good, but they're very much like a product. They're not like actual art films. And I
Yeah.
don't. And in the movies you listed, kind of suck. Like the Babadook is the most overrated piece of shit movie I've ever seen.
I watched it for the first time a little while ago, and I was like, why is everybody saying this movie's good? I don't get it.
The kid was annoying as fuck.
God, he was. I wish the mom would have shot him in the head or snapped his neck or, like, drowned him underneath some, like, under some water or some shit like that. Because I fucking hated that kid.
That could be arranged.
Dan comes out of the shadows.
He's like the new Michael Myers. Dustin, how do you feel about it?
I think it's retarded. Like you said, you made a good point. If it's going to be this all-female thing, then only sell tickets to females. See how much money you make then. Like, it's, I don't know.
We saw what happened with Ghostbusters. Here's the thing that's pissing me off with Marvel, including this whole Spider-Man thing. You make good movies that appeal to everybody. Now that you've reached a certain level, you're trying to put this agenda bullshit in your movies. Keep it pure. All the Marvel movies up until this point are what I would consider pure. There's really no underlying message about how the world needs to be or all this other dumb shit. It's kind of like, characters are white, they're white. Characters are black, they're black. Characters are Indian, there's Indian people in the movies. That's cool. Now we're getting into this second wave of Marvel shit where it's like, now it's an agenda-driven Marvel. And I think it's good and bad, because it's good that it's happening now because people are going to run into superhero fatigue and not support this shit. So then they're going to have to run back and be like, well, people like Iron Man and Thor, let's get them back. No one gives a shit about Captain Marvel. And anybody that that probably listens to this show is like, oh, I'm a huge Captain Marvel fan. No, you're fucking not. You know who the character is. You're like a comic book fan, and you want to seem intelligent and have discussions with other comic book fans, and maybe even seem smarter than them. So you're going to say how much you love Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel, whatever the fuck you want to call her, just to like boost your own ego. You really don't give a shit about that character. She's a third-rate character. Okay? Third-rate character. There are other women in Marvel that are more famous than her. Most of them don't even have superpowers. Dion?
See, the thing that pisses me off, and I'm still extremely pissed off about the Tony Stark thing, so I'm trying to like dial my rage down. When you, and this is what's pissing me off about Marvel, when you do something that is like making it all women making the movie, like a woman director, and you're only gonna look at women, it comes off as so disingenuous. Now, if you were to just say, okay, we just want a director that's made, we want someone that's made a little unknown movie that has talent, and you had both men and women, and you just happened to pick a woman, then it looks legitimate because you didn't look at what they were. But if you're only looking at women, it looks so disingenuous that, okay, now we know that it's a chick. We have to have a woman. We're only going to look at women. And like you said, comic books are just forgot. They were just made for dudes. There are chicks that like comic books, but they're in passing. And when you do this shit, it comes off as this. They look like assholes doing this. It's not even about the whole man-woman thing to me. They look like fucking assholes. Oh, we're only gonna look at women. And if you're a movie maker, you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that about?
I have
it's
a question.
So disingenuous.
Isn't that sexist, by the way?
It is incredibly.
Isn't that the true
sexist.
definition of sexism?
I know. Yes. I keep harping on it, but there are movies that have strong female leads. That's just how the movies were written. They weren't written specifically to get women to watch the movie. That's just the character.
So what you're telling me, Hollywood, is that Aliens with Sigourney Weaver should not have been directed by James Cameron because he's a man and he doesn't understand anything, right? Right, Hollywood? Is that how this works? Star Wars, Princess Leia doesn't matter because George Lucas created her and he's a dude and he doesn't get it. He's just a fucking asshole.
Or Mad Max shouldn't have been Tom Hardy. It should have been fucking Sandra Bullock because why can't Max be a woman? Why can't it star a woman? It should have been two women in the truck, right? What the fuck? We should have just got a woman director. Fuck George Miller. Like what that you look like an asshole when you do that. I'm only gonna look at women. I'm only gonna look at women. That's all I'm doing. I'm only looking at women. Like what? That defeats the fucking purpose. If you're trying to be progressive, you're just like, hey, we looked at a bunch of people. If we pick a woman, we pick a woman. If not, we don't. Like
are
that.
They all
it
white
shouldn't.
Too?
They probably are.
I'm just saying, if you guys are gonna go full tilt retard,
seriously, like it just looks so like it's so. And we all are grown. Well, not so much Phil, but we're all adults, and when someone's bullshitting you. When someone tells you one thing, and they have a whole other objective. this is what this comes off as. This comes off as fucking some shadow-handed bullshit for you to pretend that you're being progressive when you just want to, oh, well, we just want women to pay money on our movies. You don't give a shit about fucking women feeling empowered. Don't force me that bullshit, Marvel. You don't give a shit about that.
And you know they're not going to go see the movie. Look at Ghostbusters. Oh, it's for the little girls. It's for this. It's for that. The movie's a fucking flop, and Sony's taking a huge loss on it.
And the only thing I'll say is that when you focus on only having women, what's the one thing, Nick, that they fucking forget to care about in the movie? The goddamn story.
Exactly.
And that's what happened to fucking Ghostbusters. You had to have a black chick play a black stereotype. You had to have Kristen Wiig, and you had to have all these women in the movie. The story fucking sucked. That's why these movies fail. It's not about sexism. It's not about men who want to see these movies and, oh, I don't want to see no bitches. That's not about that. The movie fucking sucked, dude. That's it. Make a good movie. Make a good movie.
Oh, I have one final question before Dustin says some more stuff on the news. How covered up is she going to be? I'm guessing she's going to be covered from neck to fingertips. Not going to have any.
I bet you.
No. From the top of her head to the bottom of her, she's going to be in a goddamn burqa. It's going to happen. Let me tell you.
They might.
No, I bet you that they're gonna fucking do all this bullshit. Oh, it's all women. We want women to come to watch comic books, and she's still gonna fucking look like the goddamn character specifically made to give guys boners. I fucking guarantee it. They're gonna talk all this shit and do the exact same fuck. They'll show, even if it's covered, it'll be like super fucking tight. That still doesn't make sense why she's wearing a super tight outfit. You can see her tits. It's gonna look fucking. And then we're gonna be like, really? You guys are trying to empower women, huh? Well, I just want to fuck her now.
What I want is I want a gratuitous sexy shot, because remember when we got to watch Thor, there are shots in Thor where he walks across throw the damn thing. There are shots where he just walks across the screen without a shirt on. Is she gonna walk across the screen without pants on? Are we gonna get that? No.
Twice.
Do it as ass shot. I mean, like, we need that. I want that. Please do that.
Well, not from Brie Larson. She's not really that hot, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I guess it's good to get Oscar-winning actors and shit, but I don't know. I'm not really a fan. She's not what I think of when I think of action and shit like that.
No, not at all.
All right, Dustin, you got any more news?
Sure, and finally, Stan Lee has reportedly endorsed Disney star Zendaya as the next Mary Jane. Lee, who is a hack, kike, and notorious credit stealer, said the color of their skin doesn't matter. Their religion doesn't matter. All that matters is that the right person, it's the right person for the role. The film arrives in theaters July 7th of next year, and hopefully Stan Lee is dead by then.
She's not the right person for the role. And Stan, if you're so progressive, why wasn't she black when you wrote the comic 50 fucking years ago? Or 49?
Why did they cast a black dude for Captain America or cast a white dude for Black Panther? Because they wanted to stick with the goddamn characters. But it's okay because it's the dude that Spider-Man wants to fuck. That makes it okay.
Yeah, you know what, Stan Lee? Here's the thing, though, about Stan Lee. Stan Lee is so agreeable that he'll agree to, like, oh, yeah, we should have the first, interspecies characters in these movies now. Oh, we don't care about Iron Fist. Let Iron Fist be played by Harambe or something. I'm all for that shit. Stan Lee.
Except for Harambe.
Stan
Watch any movie with Harambe
Stan
in
Lee,
it right
you
now.
suck, dude. I love the work he actually did, not the shit he stole. And I think Zendaya is a terrible Mary Jane choice because comic book characters depend on two things: the way they're written and the way they look. Comic books are a visual medium. If this was a fucking novel adaptation that didn't really describe the character, then I could understand your argument. But this is a comic book adaptation where the people need to look like the drawings. The artists don't change what the characters look like. They just draw them in their own style. Iron Man has always had dark hair and some sort of facial hair, be it mustache, goatee, beard, whatever the story calls for. Peter Parker's always a white dude with brown hair, and Mary Jane's always a white chick with red hair. It's just the way they look.
Can we all agree that Stan Lee is a kike?
Yep.
Stanley's my grandpa that made great characters that probably shits himself. I can't do it.
I thought your grandpa was Spike Lee.
I thought your grandpa was Samuel L. Jackson. What the fuck happened?
No, Samuel Jackson's my dad. And then
Okay, my bad.
Stanley is, yeah.
Oh, well, that was the news. That was pretty long.
If the debate's anything like this is going to be a goddamn good show.
Yeah. We won't be able to fit it all in one episode on SoundCloud. We'll have to go back and cut this shit into smaller parts. God damn it, SoundCloud.
Fuck SoundCloud.
Fuck
Now,
for the last time, SoundCloud.
Now, before we get into the rest of the show, just a quick shout-out to listener of the week, Brian Lape. No, I don't think you're a creepy old man for listening to the show, Brian. That's just me responding to your comment. So, thank you for all your support, and keep on listening. And by the way, tomorrow night, or the night you listen to this show, because this will be uploaded on Friday, the Bullshitters and I are getting together to record a commentary track for Batman v Superman. And guess what, America? We're going to be really drunk. So, if you thought us ripping on the movie all the time was funny, imagine it when we're all drunk. So it'll just be amplified and a good time. So that'll be tomorrow night, and that'll be up sometime Saturday, so expect that, and you're welcome for a good weekend.
Hashtag dicks in for Leslie.
Yeah! Yeah! The joke, hashtags dicks in for Leslie, is go listen to my little video on the whole Leslie Jones hacking scandal. I think it's funny, but you can listen to the whole thing.
I mean, seriously, who the fuck wants to see that? My eyes about fucking burnt out of my skull.
Yeah, when I look at pictures of her, I don't go, oh man, I wonder what that booty looked like. No, I just go,
Dude, dicks in for Leslie. Dicks in for Leslie all fucking day long.
That's a lie. There's no dicks in Leslie.
Oh.
Hey,
In those pictures there is.
Hey,
Photoshop.
who photoshops a dick in their ass?
Leslie.
I'm fairly certain she used the date rape drug on those guys.
The dude's taking the photo.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's
fine.
relatively clear.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Someone else did it
It's
for him.
relatively
I just
clear.
love that Jeff is arguing the validity of Leslie Jones receiving anal. I just want to point that out. He's like, you fucking took the pictures, dude. It's like, all right, Tom Brokaw, calm down. I was there.
It's relatively clear, guys.
Jeff is there holding a light picture that you got a clear image, all right?
It was Brian Williams that did it. You know, the DC guy. I was there when the helicopter went down. I was there when the dick went in Leslie Jones's asshole.
And that was the best part. You're like, it's relatively clear. You could have just said clear, but you're like, relatively. Like, there are parts of it I'm like,
It's almost
but I see the
completely
dick,
clear.
I see the top of the anus. It was relatively clear. I got it.
It's almost clear.
I just want to be technical for once on this show. Is it wrong to care?
In that one, yes, motherfucker.
Totally wrong to care.
Have you seen the photos yet?
I actually was looking it up
Nope.
while, because I was so mad about the Tony Stark thing. It's like, I'm not dealing with this right now. So I looked up the fucking pictures, and to be honest, I was like, this could have been a lot worse, Leslie. You actually
Yeah,
came out
exactly.
with this could have been a lot worse. She's not as totally ugly as I thought.
They always say the camera takes away 100 pounds.
What about Melissa McCarthy?
The camera adds 400.
I did
What
say
level
on my
do I
rant
find
I would
that?
rather see her naked than Leslie Jones, but
I would rather snort black tar heroin.
I can arrange that.
How much you willing to pay?
Do you want that with or without elephant tranquilizers?
Oh, the more the better.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. Party.
Okay, so this week's great pop culture debate and main feature is one segment. If you've been listening to this channel for a long time, you know there's things we like. We like comic books, we like boobies, and we like Star Wars. Not in that order, because for me it goes boobies, comic books, then Star Wars.
I was
Anyway,
about to say, you're being disingenuous with the order of this list, buddy.
I like
I'm very
boobs.
upset that there's no porn on this list.
Well, I wanted to say boobs because boobs make
What about anal, goddammit? Come on.
When you say anal, all I can think of is Leslie Jones taking it up the ass.
Can we throw Harambe in this list? Because I love Harambe.
What about analingus?
Hey, if you're into that type of thing, man, we talk about rim jobs on all our drunk commentary, so listen to what especially The Room. I convinced Nick that rimming a chick is not that bad of a thing to do.
It's really not.
We really do always talk about anal in our drunk commentaries, don't we? It always comes up at least once.
Were we talking about rim jobs when we were drinking at Phil's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, totally fucking were.
Oh, that's amazing.
Something about alcohol brings up rim jobs.
Rims out for Harambe?
That needs to be a
Good job, a
t-shirt.
sign of love.
Rim jobs are emotions.
I feel rim job for you.
All right, well, back to what I was saying before we got into this whole rim job fiasco of 2016. I think we should call that the year in review. 2016, the rim job fiasco.
The rim job fiasco.
I would wear that on a t-shirt. Hell, I'd get that tattooed on my ass.
That would make a great episode of It's Always Sunny.
The rim job fiasco. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to be focused. Tonight's great pop culture debate slash main feature is, what is the greatest scene in Star Wars? We want to know what the scene that epitomizes Star Wars is to you. Does it include lightsabers, X-Wings, TIE Fighters, Millennium Falcon, any of that shit? So tonight, everyone is going to mention a scene in Star Wars that epitomizes what Star Wars is to them. We're going to tell you why, and then we're going to argue a little bit back and forth why our scenes are better than someone else's. Ultimately, though, it's you, the fans, who get to decide who gave the best argument and who has the best scene. And also, if you like a different scene, tell us in the comments. So, let us know, man. Comment, like this video, subscribe, all that good shit, but most importantly, tell us what your favorite Star Wars scene is. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Loudy.
Alright, so my favorite scene, it's a very simple scene, but it would have to come from A New Hope, where we find Luke on Tatooine, and he's staring off into the two sunsets. For me, it kind of represents his longing of wanting to know more. It's the beginning of his journey into what ends up being him, discovering the Force and Obi-Wan and becoming a Jedi, and ultimately, meeting his father very awkwardly, but still.
That's an understatement.
Hey, you know what? Go Bucks. But anyway, so I mean that's the scene that really does it for me, because I feel like it really captures the emotion, especially the way that the music is keyed with that scene. Just the way he's staring off and focusing into the sunset.
To me, that's the most visually appealing scene in that entire film.
Absolutely.
Dan, why don't you go? I'm sure you got something as poetic as Loudy's.
No, I don't.
I like things go boom.
Well, what do you got, Dan?
Nope.
Okay, well, Dan told us that
I want
off
to
air
hit you.
his favorite scene was when Jar Jar Binks stepped in the shit on Mos Espa, and he said that to him it's essentially a parallel to his life. Like, every day he wakes up on this barren place and he steps in shit, literally. And Jar Jar Binks is like the spirit animal he never knew existed. So, when Dan closes his eyes and he imagines what he wants to be, Misa Misa Jar Jar Binks is the first thing he thinks of.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
All right,
That
Dan.
scene said it reminds him of his life in the sense that he feels like he's always stepped on.
You took it too literally, man.
Yeah, you're getting all poetic and shit over here. We're trying to call Dan a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit, Dan.
I'm alright with that. I've only seen the Star Wars movies twice, so I'm not doing anything on this one.
Smack.
Okay, Dustin, would you like to go, or do you want someone else to go?
I can go.
Okay.
Mine, I prefer the prequels over the original. And I was rewatching episode 3 with my kids, and something that struck me was the scene where Anakin goes and talks to Palpatine at the opera. And there's that ancient tribal monk music in the background, and there's the orbs flying. And Palpatine, what's the guy that plays him? What's the actor's name?
Ian McDiarmid.
He is the best actor next to Ewan McGregor in the prequels. He's able to play this smiley, glad hand fucking politician, and then also a second later switch to like this menacing Sith, and he keeps alternating back and forth. But he's basically playing Anakin the whole time, and he's showing that his plan for the past 3 movies is coming to fruition, and he's hinting at all these things he's done, and he uses the fact that he's been putting these dreams in Anakin's head that his wife is going to die to push him over the edge by offering him this ancient Sith knowledge of how to keep his wife alive. And something that I noticed for the very first time, and I feel stupid for taking 11 years to notice it, but in that speech where he's talking about how Plagueis came up with this wisdom about how to stop life from ending, he also mentions that he can create life using midi-chlorians. And I never made the connection that Anakin was born without a father, and that he was crafted by the hands of Palpatine as this dark messiah. And so this whole thing was, watching it again, I had a whole new appreciation for how in-depth and intricate the prequels was. The music was awesome, the visuals were unique, and Palpatine's acting was phenomenal.
All right, we will talk more. We will go into rebuttals after this.
I'll go.
Nick.
One of my favorite scenes was from Phantom Menace, and it's when Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor enter that room with Darth Maul, and you see that wide shot of him pulling out his lightsaber and pushing both buttons, and it's like the double-edged lightsaber. When I saw that, I remember that kind of distinctly when the prequels come out, and I was like, that's fucking cool as shit. And even that fight scene's really awesome, too.
Was that it?
That's it.
Oh, okay, cool. Phil?
Mine's a little long-winded here. I'm going to take you on a journey, all right?
Oh, fuck.
Hey, I thought this was going to be more in-depth, so bear with me.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. These motherfuckers giving 2-sentence answers. But no, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
Mine's a page long, so here we go. I'm going to take you back. May 25th, 1977. People filled theaters all over the world not knowing that they were about to watch something that would change the world forever. They were introduced to a galaxy far, far away, where the Rebel Alliance battled the evil Galactic Empire. An evil dark villain, Darth Vader, accused a princess of being a member of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Darth Vader is a mysterious Dark Lord with a dark past. Soon the world would discover that this terrible tyrant was the true father of two of our heroines. Over an 8-year span, Star Wars told a story unlike any other, but it left many questions. What was the Jedi Order like at its strongest? If the Jedi were so wise and so strong, how did they fall? How did the Empire come to be? How did Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, come to be the father of the two pure-hearted souls like Luke and Leia? Fast forward, May 19th, 1999. A new story comes to light to tell the tale of Vader and how he went from a slave boy on a desert planet of Tatooine to one of the most feared men in the entire galaxy. I feel the best moment in Star Wars came on May 19th, 2005. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Mace Windu had come to the Senate building after it had been revealed Senator Palpatine is the Dark Lord of the Sith. They'd been searching for all along. Windu is about to kill the Senator. He's too dangerous to be kept alive. Anakin's internal struggle kicks in. Does he stay true to the Jedi Order and help Master Windu destroy the Sith? Or does he save the Senator, possibly saving the love of his life from certain death? He chooses the latter, of course, betraying everything that he's been taught, betraying the Jedi Order. With his reality shattered, exclaiming, "What have I done?" He bows to his new master and swears his allegiance. Henceforth you shall be known as Darth Vader. Anakin takes up his new mantle, and his first order is to slay anything that moves in the Jedi Temple. Yes, even the younglings, Jeff. Then he is to move to Mustafar to vanquish the remaining Separatist leaders, thus restoring peace to the Republic. He is confronted there by not only the love of his life, but by his mentor and friend. A battle raged over the lava rivers of Mustafar. Overestimating his own power, he is then struck down, defeated, mangled, and burned beyond recognition. On the brink of death, his new master comes to his rescue. And that is when he becomes the truly iconic Darth Vader that we all know and love. Anakin had lost everything and fully given in to the dark side of the Force. With Padme dead and the destruction of the Jedi Order, Anakin had nothing. He allowed the dark side to consume him and mold his foreseeable future. This is where it all comes full circle. So that's why I feel that my best moment is here. All of the questions have been answered. We now know how the Empire came to be, how the Jedi were defeated so easily, why Vader is so conflicted. We now understand his constant internal struggle. It wasn't until he learned of his surviving children, Luke and Leia, that the internal struggle returned to lead to his betrayal of the Emperor in Return of the Jedi. And we also know why he is this way. That moment was so defining, and we can understand why Luke is a whiny bitch sometimes. Then Episode 7 came out, and now we understand why Kylo Ren was a whiny little temper tantrum throwing bitch too. How didn't we see this coming? That's my greatest moment in Star Wars, when Anakin becomes Darth Vader.
Phil, you are a goddamn hero. A fucking worldwide treasure.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dustin. I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Don't expect to hear anything else.
You have time. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's very telling.
Dion, are you still in the bathroom? Would you like to record?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I actually had to finish washing out all the puke in my mouth in that last bit of Phil's rendition of what the best moment of Star Wars is, but I guess I'll go ahead. For me, all this prequel bullshit needs to end right now. I'm going back to the roots. I'm going back to the beginning. My favorite and the best moment, and Jeff, this is a little nod to you due to our previous conversations, is the very beginning, is the conclusion of the Star Wars font, the story being told. The camera pans down to what we now know as Tatooine. There's a flash, and there is Yavin, or not Yavin, there's the Rebel ship running away from a giant Star Destroyer, which the minute it appears on the screen, it is firing at the Rebel ship, attacks it. You see that the ship is damaged, it's pulled into the Star Destroyer, and then you see this clamoring of people run to a door with weapons drawn, and in a few moments you hear a large clanking sound above their heads, and then the door explodes, and immediately a firefight. After everyone is killed, you see this hooded, dark, tall, menacing figure walk through the door, and that is the guy that we now know is Darth Vader. So for me, the greatest moment in Star Wars is the very beginning of the first movie, where it set the pace not only for that movie, but for the entire fucking franchise. It was so iconic that they made other ships look exactly like that first Star Destroyer. They made the Republic Dreadnoughts and the prequels look like Star Destroyers. And again, it set the pace, tone for the entire series. The good guys running, trying to obtain something, and the bad guys right on their heels. That is why fucking the beginning of A New Hope is the best moment in Star Wars. Arguably film history.
Real quick, Dion, quick question. You said the planet was Tatooine. Did you mean Alderaan, or was that actually Tatooine?
It was Tatooine, Loudy.
It was
Oh, was it?
Tatooine.
Because
Fuck
they
me, I'm sorry, I was
dropped.
scared.
Remember, they dropped the droids jump
The
out of
droids.
that thing, the escape pod, right over the planet.
Right. Yeah. Don't know why the fuck that slipped my mind. My bad.
All right. Well, I'm going to close this out with the third entry into A New Hope. So that's 3 of the greatest moments in Star Wars history are coming from A New Hope. Coincidence? I think not. But for me, Star Wars just isn't about lightsabers and the Force. It's a bigger story. It's about good and evil, the Empire, the Rebel Alliance, and the rich characters that inhabit the universe. No other scene encapsulates the essence of Star Wars more than the trench run. Now let me set the scene for you. It's the last-ditch effort of the Rebel Alliance. Of the 30 Rebel ships that attacked the Death Star, only 4 remain. Luke, Wedge, and Biggs are flying down the Death Star trench. The 4th ship, by the way, is a random Y-wing that appears when they're flying back to the planet. It's not seen in the firefight. We don't know who it is. Anyway, they were flying down the trench of the Death Star on their way towards the exhaust port. The other ships have failed. This is it. On their tails is Darth Vader and his private squadron of TIE fighters. Vader and his fighters get near to the ships. Red 2, Wedge Antilles, he has a malfunction. He leaves. It's down to Luke and Biggs. Biggs is Luke's childhood friend, his final connection to his old life, and then suddenly, boom, Darth Vader blasts him into oblivion. As Luke races down the exhaust port, his enemies are closing in on him. Vader is about to take the kill shot when suddenly Han Solo appears to save the day. Luke takes the shot, the rebels get away, Vader is hurtled into space, and the Death Star explodes. Now, if you look at the scene deeper, which, of course, I'm going to do for a second, when Biggs dies, Luke loses all connections to Tatooine. It's the final hurdle on his journey to becoming a man. Not a Jedi, but a man. We also see Han Solo's character arc completed. He starts out as a selfish pirate whose only concern is money. Throughout the film, he shows flickers of heroism, but it is in this moment that he truly becomes a hero. His conscience gets the best of him, and he does what he needs to do to rescue Luke. To top it all off, we're treated to the best moment in the Star Wars score. It's epic, with those pounding drums and the main theme blasting. It sets the mood perfectly. The tension is palpable. It is the only scene in any film that genuinely gets me excited. It builds, it builds, it builds, and then payoff. This is the ultimate scene in Star Wars. It does so much for so many characters. It's incredible on every sensory level. And it's the climax to a great movie. Everything the viewer sat through led up to this moment. We didn't have to wait for an entire saga because at this point in time, Star Wars was just one thing. So imagine the biggest movie ever, and this is the biggest payoff ever. That's my moment. All right, so let's refute each other's points. Who wants to do the first rebuttal? I would just like to say, Dan, I think you should win this one because your choice was so personal and telling, and I think you're quite brave to share so much with us. So I just want to thank you. After coming back from the grave, of all things, I mean, you had a terrible, terrible asthma attack, and you suffered and died, and now you're back, and now you give the best answer. So if it's cool with everybody, I'm just going to award this one to Dan, and then we'll talk about ours. But Dan is the true winner.
No,
No,
truly,
we're not good
because
with it.
you could tell he put so much time and preparation and care into this episode. That
Yeah, it's
And
it's
the
ridiculous,
delivery.
really.
The delivery
Yeah.
was so impassioned,
And so eloquent.
so in
It was-
tune with his internal response to seeing that part of the film. I couldn't take it, Dan. I just couldn't take
I
it.
personally would love to know what Dan Kane was thinking in 1999 when he saw that fish rabbit creature jump around and say whoopee whoopee and all this other shit. So Dan, thank you.
I can tell you right now, Dan Kane has no idea what he would have said in 1999. Dan Kane didn't see that movie until 2013.
Quite frankly, I almost shed a tear the way that Dan did it. Honestly,
Dan, you're the real MVP, dog. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. No homo.
You're the real MVP, Dan.
All right, all joking aside, let's talk about each other's points. Dion, you and I are huge Star Wars fans, along with Dustin. Tell me what you thought of some of these choices, and then Dustin will have you go ahead.
sure.
Okay. At first, I just think that any argument for any moment in any of the prequels saying that it is the best moment should automatically be taken out of the conversation, because if anything, of all our moments, anything in the prequels, if it didn't happen, it wouldn't necessarily be bad for the series. It's not all that important, and it may be cool, it may look cool, but again, it's not, as far as the best moment in Star Wars, it's not necessary to the franchise. So I'm just going to start there. Going
That's
on,
just
I don't
great.
think.
It'd be great if your opinion
That's just
mattered.
stupid.
Well, don't get mad at me, ladies. You guys have your turn to talk. Go ahead. Just hold on a minute. And then going forward, I just think that again, I love the scene with Darth Maul. It's one of the only scenes I actually like in The Phantom Menace. But I don't think him pulling out his lightsaber is necessarily, a necessity for the plot or the series or the franchise. So that's why I don't think that one is necessarily a very good candidate for best moment.
Okay.
What are you going to explain why yours is better than Jeff's? Or are you going to keep shying away from that?
No, I knew that you were getting butthurt with that prolapse anal. So go ahead and give me your best
No,
rebuttal,
ahead,
and we'll
because
go
I
on from
noticed
there.
you never disagree with Jeff, so I'd like to hear what your argument against his is. Unless you're admitting
Well,
that yours is not the best.
Oh, trust me, I have no quarrel knowing that mine's the best. But again, like I said, mine is the beginning of the movie. So the only thing and as much as I love the run against the Death Star, and it is a very important moment in the movie, in the franchise, and in film overall, mine comes first. Like I said, it sets the pace. That's why I would say that mine is better than Jeff's, because again, it sets the pace for the entire film. I mean, the whole film. I mean, the movie doesn't feel like a 2-hour film because it starts out with someone running away from someone else. So that's why I would go with mine over Jeff's or Loudy saying that Luke looking at the double suns is the most important moment.
All right, Dustin.
Dion's is pretty lame. Yeah, it happens, but they could have started that film any other way. And it doesn't really set the pace because right after that scene, they fucking walk through a desert for 40 minutes. And so you want to talk about it setting the pace, it completely comes to a standstill. So don't know what you meant there. I'll give Loudy's, what was yours, Loudy?
You'll give it something. You don't even remember what it is.
Where Luke is staring off into the double sun.
Yeah, that's cliche as fuck. Like,
You're cliche as fuck. Trump 26.
Yes.
Well, Dustin, if you want to be fair, Loudy's never really watched Star Wars, so.
Oh,
this doesn't-
right, because I don't own 6 of the 7 movies, right?
Okay, well. You said earlier that
Films,
you.
I like
watched
yours,
them,
but I
so-
didn't know what actual scene you
say
picked.
that.
You just described all of episode 3, which that's my favorite one. So
I picked the moment that he officially became Darth Vader.
now you're talking when he was named Darth Vader, or when he rises up on
The
the
suit.
table.
When
The
he
suit?
when he
That is
dons the suit
scene.
and finds that everything he had is now gone and he has no choice but to be a Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yep, and I think what encapsulates that scene is when he goes, "No!"
My biggest thing is it brings his story arc full circle.
I'll give you that. But Jeff, I don't like happy endings, and I think it's a cliche ending when the good guy, right, whenever all hope is lost and there's 1 second left, they pulled off. I don't care for those. And finally, the Darth Maul one's cool, but there's no real story to it. It's just like, oh, here's a new kind of lightsaber. So that's what I have to say about everyone's. If I missed anyone, yours is shit, mine's better.
Does anyone else want to go, or do you want me to start telling what I think?
Go for it.
Tell what you say, son.
All right, Loudy, I like yours. Yours is, when I close my eyes and think of Star Wars, it's one of the 5 moments, but I just don't like it as much. It's great, but it's so short. It has some substance, but it's not really, I don't know. Mine's a big payoff. Now, Dion's is awesome. I mean, Dustin made the point, you could start the movie anywhere. No, you really couldn't, because you need to start these movies off epically. Like, if we were talking about episode 3, like, well, it starts in the middle of this huge space battle, but then I could say, it could start with anything in that movie. Like, Padme just, the ship could land, and it could start. No, I mean, that movie starts with a bang. When that movie came out, you had never seen anything like that before. It's so epic and grandiose, and it's awesome. And the whole battle on Tantive 4's cool, and it's got iconic lines and scenes and shit. But while I think that's cool, I think it's upstaged by the ending. Because I wasn't even picking the whole battle of Yavin, but I guess I can since you guys keep saying about the whole battle of the Death Star. I was picking like the last 5 minutes. But realistically, if you want to do the whole battle, the whole movie builds up to that battle. It's so epic. And you've never, like I said, you've never seen anything like Star Wars before when it came out. And this was like that cherry. Like, Dion, yours was the whipped cream. Mine was the cherry. And it's the first thing you see, like, ooh. It's bright, it's red, it stands out, it's the huge contrast. That, and the whole Battle of Yavin's perfect. It's got the greatest music, it's got great special effects, great scenes, and it's got tension. Unlike any of the other scenes you guys mentioned tonight, none of them have any genuine tension. It's like, oh, is Luke gonna get, oh my god, he could die. He could be shot down. Vader could get him. Because Vader took down Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was, this Jedi Master that's training Luke, so he has to know more than Luke Skywalker. But no, Luke just Luke saves the day. And it's cool. It's like that last moment thing. You said, Dustin, about it, you don't like happy endings. Well, I like happy endings, and this is one of the best happy endings because it really closes out the story of the first movie perfectly. It doesn't leave you hanging on. You gotta wait for 3 years to find out what happens. Nick, yours is cool. I like that lightsaber duel, but that's all that movie has to offer. The pod race is shit and overly long. You have... that movie's not good. Dan, like I told you, you win in my book. Now, Dustin, I like the analysis that you had for Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, but that seems kind of boring, and it's cool that there's speculation that Anakin could have been formed that way, but that's kind of just like what you're putting onto the scene. It's never explicitly stated. The whole fatherless birth thing is stupid. It's trying to be a Christ allegory in the first movie, and George Lucas just shit the bed. It would have been better. You talk about starting in the middle of shit. They should have just started with Anakin as a guy. Like, it should have been Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's like, oh, this is his Jedi Padawan, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to see him.
Should have been Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, they just come together. Qui-Gon's a useless character at the end of the day. I mean, he really... he's the first person to tap through to the Force? Anyone could have done that. That doesn't make him a great character. That's just they used somebody that is established to do those things. So your scene's cool to look at, and I like it, but I don't enjoy it. It's nothing that I think... When I think Star Wars, it's not one of the top 50
Definitely not the best moment.
I mean, seriously, I'm not even trying to be mean, but if I think of top prequel moments, I'm going to think of the Darth Maul lightsaber duel, the opening of Episode 3, the Darth Vader Obi-Wan lightsaber duel in Episode 3. Hell, the entire Battle of Geonosis is cooler to look at in Episode 2, and I hate Episode 2, you know that. And then, Phil, yours is cool, but Dustin already hit the nail on the head. That whole no thing is laughably bad. It's just like what I consider the prequels. They have laughably bad moments that kill the lore and just kill the magic.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You said that Dion's moment is the whipped cream and yours is the cherry. Well, when I eat a sundae, I much prefer the ice cream, which would be...
we know.
Which would be my scene. So.
But you should know that you shouldn't be eating ice cream, sir, so we're going to leave that analogy alone.
But America eats ice cream, so I think...
America also runs on America.
America runs on Duncan.
Fuck Duncan. Anyway, go ahead, Phil. Go through it.
There's no donuts in this analogy. No, that was all I had to say.
Oh, okay. Humor. Haha.
Loudy's scene, I mean, yeah, it's an iconic shot, but to me, it doesn't signify anything. It's just him staring at two suns, which you really aren't supposed to look into the sun anyway, so...
You're supposed to,
go
fight
back,
on a
go back,
volcano
go back to
and
the
get lit
Sunday
on fire.
analogy.
I,
Back to the Sunday analogy.
I'll
Yeah,
be
go
completely
back to
honest. I'll be completely honest. I don't remember what Nick said as a scene. I don't know.
Quit eating ice cream, goddammit. Maybe you'll remember shit.
I'm sensing a trend. No one remembers Nick's pick.
I'm sorry I didn't
Pick
write a, I
asshole.
didn't, I'm sorry I didn't write a fucking page-long love story to my fucking scene that I'm jerking off to right now.
That just shows that I am devoted as a world-class bullshit.
Finally, to one
So
assignment we
devoted,
had this
so-
fucking week.
Fuck you! I write 3 pages every freaking week.
The
And
last
so
few times, the last few
devoted that
times, you just
knew.
like the last few times,
Dustin,
it's been like, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, I gotta pick this last thing right beforehand.
Yeah, but I still wrote something.
Okay,
Didn't-
Brian.
Hey, Dustin. I enjoy your scene. One of my favorites is also episode 3. So I'm totally with you on that one. Jeff, your scene is out of the better scenes in episode 4. That is the best scene. So, and then I just felt like Dion copied mine. So it's okay.
Dion, I know I copied you.
You know what, Phil? And it's funny
Well,
that you say that because in your
no. He kind of
hold
did.
on. Hold on. In fucking Phil's incoherent rambling, that's a hit on the head. No one knew what the fuck you were talking about, number one. And number two, you picked the most comical scene in arguably the whole fucking franchise. Not comically bad, but him, I thought I was watching a goddamn Looney Tunes special from fucking 1997 with Darth Vader, the baddest motherfucker in the planet, in the galaxy, going, no. I'm waiting for fucking Elmer Fudd to kick down the door and say, that's all, folks. That was fucking dumb.
That's actually Porky Pig.
Whatever.
Shut up.
And that's Warner Brothers. Fox, so,
Honestly, I'm willing to forgive the whole no thing because of the way that Phil put it together and the way he connected everything. Like, I wasn't buying it at first until
You
he
didn't know
kinda
that's what he was talking about
started.
until he literally
Motherfucker, I'm
said it.
talking.
But by
Anyway.
the time I was done, you knew what I was talking about.
Exactly.
That's
Let
how a
him-
lot of rapes end, too, but...
The time I was
There's also somebody screaming no.
Can we all agree that the special edition change for Return of the Jedi's Blu-ray, where they take Darth Vader's internal conflict and overlay a no over top of it as he grabs the Emperor and throws him over the chasm, is retarded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Can we also agree that replacing the original guy with Hayden Christensen in Return of the Jedi is also the worst fucking move in the world?
Yeah.
I don't know about that because
Shut your mouth.
how they show the original actor and he has hair and he's not scarred up, so that doesn't make sense either. Like if he's gonna take some form, why would it be like a healthy looking version of that actor?
So by your logic, is Obi-Wan Kenobi supposed to have a hole in him?
Yes.
or just be half a Jedi.
Or should have been
You
Ian
must-
McGregor. Should have been Ian McGregor then, by that logic. Should have been Ian McGregor.
Yeah.
No, it did. Okay.
And also, can I say that Dan's wonderful scene pretty much is how Star Wars is right now. It just stepped in shit and it can't get out. Like that's where it is. That's the analogy for all of it right now.
Jeez.
It's in shit.
It definitely is an uphill battle to fight for me, for my love, attention, and most importantly, my dollars, Disney. You're not going to get any blind Star Wars support anymore. To be fair, you never really got it because George Lucas kind of killed that goodwill through the late 90s and early 2000s.
Oh,
No, I like some of the special edition changes, and I hate some of them. So I'm torn. Like I can enjoy, like Empire Strikes Back and special edition changes is fine. Like that Blu-ray cut of Empire is cool. I don't like the original Emperor. That is a scene that works for me because you always had Ian McDiarmid play the Emperor except that one time. So it makes sense to put him in there. Do I like the changes in the dialogue? Not necessarily. Return of the Jedi, the ending is awesome. The special edition change with the whole new ending where they play that music and show all the planets. If only they would take out the Wisa free line, I think it'd be perfect.
We
And-
free.
Yeah, that was pretty retarded. I hate that.
You're so free.
Do you guys give a shit about any of the special edition changes besides, the big ones?
Not really.
It was fine the way it was. I had no problem with it.
Laddie, be honest with me. Do you know many of the special edition changes?
No, other than the Hayden Christensen bit, no.
So, like, the whole Jabba the Hutt scene, which is, superfluous.
Also, no. The thing that always bothers me about that scene is that, like, it's done really fucking badly. It's done really fucking badly. Like, the way he steps over his tail, it's like he's up 10 feet and then down, like, really quickly. That's not how that works. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that I could do at home with my computer and it would look just as bad. Like, it looks, they have all this technology and they do all this bullshit. They have ILM and everything, and this is the effect you do for him walking over somebody's tail. What the fuck?
I'm with you, man, and I feel like the scene is overkill because you had Greedo give all that expository dialogue about Jabba the Hutt and Han Solo's.
And that's another thing, and also in the special editions, like Greedo, like, the whole Greedo shot first, Han shot first thing. Like, what the fuck was that? Why did you change that?
It's retarded. It's just dumb shit.
Because
It's
Han can't
retarded.
be a bad guy.
It kills the whole character arc of Han Solo. Like, he's literally a bad guy that's only doing this for money. Shit, when the shit hits the fans, they'll step up because he doesn't want to die. And then he's like, well, I'm here for money. And then at the last minute, he has a change of heart.
Well, also, that's another thing. They fuck up. That's another scene they fuck up of Han Solo's where apparently he dodges the laser, but he dodges it so quickly that his neck would goddamn snap off his head in that scene. Like, it's such a weird way they CG'd it or whatever the fuck they did, that the way he moves his neck is that he would kill himself immediately if he did that.
Oh, I agree. You can't. He must be faster than light. Then here's
Yeah,
my question.
exactly.
If he can dodge that laser blast, why couldn't he dodge Kylo Ren's lightsaber?
Exactly. Come on.
Spoiler. Trigger.
Trigger.
Hashtag triggered.
Yeah, it's just like they have these little, like, this is billions of dollars in this movie. So many people working on it, and this, that, and the other, and you can't do two effects correctly? Come the fuck on.
And the thing is, George Lucas has gone back and changed them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
multiple times. Why not? I really feel like you need to cut the whole Jabba the Hutt scene out of A New Hope because it works better. If you watch Star Wars, it's like, oh, I owe Jabba the Hutt money. Oh, Jabba the Hutt's coming to get me an Empire. Oh my God, we finally see Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi. It's like a payoff. Like, that's how I experienced it, and that's how most people that experienced Star Wars saw it, I mean, it's cool to talk about how Star Wars is changing all these generations, and it is, but more people saw it. Like, when it first came out, it was the biggest movie ever, and it made all this money, and movie tickets on average were like $2. So just take the amount of money it made, divide it by 2, and that's like the amount of people that saw the fucking thing. That's a huge audience, and those people are carrying it over, but I'd say the majority of people that saw Star Wars saw it the way it came out.
Yeah, of course they did.
So they lived through this Jabba the Hutt name, oh, there he is, and it's a big payoff. And, like, with the Greedo shit, it's retarded. That should be the original. There are some special effect shots I like that they changed.
Yeah, I mean, they added some stuff, like, in the sand in the beginning when, the stormtroopers on the planet. They added some background stormtroopers as well. Like, that's cool. Like, that's fine. You're adding, they're looking for the droids. That's fine. I understand that. But, bringing back older scenes and making them look new and changing history, like, don't fucking do that.
You know what I'm surprised, talking about special effects and stuff, how badly some of the Episode 3 effects have held up. If you watch that, like, pay attention to the shot where there are those scout troopers on Kashyyyk and, like, Yoda's fighting them. Some of the textures in that scene look like PlayStation 2 graphics. It's really weird.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, a lot of the CG in those first few movies are really fucking bad. Like, oh man, it's so weird. So strange.
I popped in Episode 1 the other day just to watch the lightsaber duel, and it has those retarded cutback scenes. That's another thing I don't like about the later Star Wars movies. They go, like, the first movie is just the one scene, like, it's all about the Death Star attack. Then in the next one, it's about Luke and Vader and the escape from Cloud City. Then the next one, it's the Death Star attack, Luke and Vader, and the Battle of Endor. And they keep adding new scenes, and then you get to Episode 1, it's like 4 different scenes that they keep cutting back across, and it just sucks. But the reason I bring that up is because when they kept cutting back to the Jar Jar Binks battlefield scene, man, those effects were so bad. They don't stand up.
Nope,
when you
not even a little
CGI
bit.
Everything, ugh.
I wonder what like the 4K version of Phantom Menace would look like. How bad it would look, honestly. Like, I really wonder that.
It would
Phil, can you tell us, please?
That would look fucking terrible.
We got to
Okay.
understand something, Nick. You would have to upscale the film in 4K, and I think a lot of special effects are only, even like Marvel movies, the reason they can never truly release a 4K Marvel movie is because the effects are all rendered in 2K.
No. They have to be rendered in 4K because of how big they're showing them on a screen.
But I heard a whole thing on the Digital Foundry that the effects aren't rendered in 4K. They're all rendered in 2K.
Holy
And
shit!
upscaled. So like when you get, if you were to watch the Avengers on a 4K Blu-ray,
So then,
just be like an upscaled one. It wouldn't be true 4K resolution.
So then what they might have to do is they might take the film on 2K, put it actually on film, then scan it in 4K. Holy fucking shit!
You know they won't do that. They'll just take it and upscale it, and they'll sell you that.
God, oh my god.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But to answer your question, episodes 1 through 3 in 4K would look terrible.
I kind of want to watch that though, just to see how bad they are and laugh at them. I really just want to do that now.
Well, now you'll have new reasons to laugh at them. I mean, I wonder if you'll be able to see where they superimpose Liam Neeson's face over the stunt double.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Oh, that'd be so funny.
Real quick before we end the show, because we're a little light on time, each name me a terrible scene in Star Wars.
Well,
Anything Jar Jar Binks is in.
I named 2, so that's my.
What were they again?
The horrible effect of Han Solo walking over CG'd Jabba the Hutt, and then him dodging the fucking laser blast from Guido.
Okay.
Guido.
Phil.
Greedo, sorry.
Guido? Are you watching fucking
That's racist.
fucking
Is Jersey
TV
Shore?
right now?
GTL, bro. Jim Tan Laundry.
Fucking kill me.
Sure, come on over. Give me your bank account information though first.
Alright, cool. I get paid tomorrow.
Okay, I'll kill you later.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm watching Risky.
Remember when he said he'd kill you later?
I was being honest.
Died.
All right, who else has got a terrible scene in Star Wars?
I do. Fucking the exact copy of Episode 4 with fucking what's her nut standing on a fucking desert planning looking at double suns.
Except for that wasn't a scene that happened, but
Oh, it was.
where? Tell me what part of the film. How many times have you seen it, by the way?
I've seen it twice.
Wait, what? When did you see it a second time, goddammit?
Listen.
No, I want to know. I want the truth.
Uh-oh.
You can't handle the truth.
Maybe I can't, but I still want to hear it.
Triggered.
Yeah,
I watched that shit online when I found out that one of my friends was like, "Oh yeah, I fucking love that movie." I was like, "Look, am I wrong about this shit?"
Yep.
And no, I wasn't.
No, you were not, Dion. You were not.
Says the man who went out and bought it right away.
I didn't buy it. It was a Christmas gift.
Return it.
Where's the
Return
gift
tons of
receipt?
Christmas
God damn
gifts.
it.
Get a fucking gift card, Jesus.
How is
Dude.
that a Christmas gift? The film came out in December in theaters and wasn't on Blu-ray until April.
There you go. Thank you, Dustin. Logic.
He didn't say Christmas. He said it was a gift.
He said Christmas gift.
No, I
thought.
say a Christmas gift. It was a Christmas gift.
How though?
It was a Christmas gift.
In April?
Shocking, Dion. Yeah.
Yeah, try it again. Why don't you pick another shitty scene?
I know I didn't buy it. I don't remember where I got it from, to be honest.
He drunkenly bought it.
Wouldn't be a.
This is gonna be great.
It came with his 4K TV.
I would say I don't want this TV if you're gonna force me to own this piece of shit. Actually, I'd be like, can I trade it in for any movie? Give me a copy of fucking Night of the Roxbury. I'll take that. All right, what are some other terrible Star Wars scenes?
Everything that takes place on Endor.
I disagree. I think the speeder bike chase is amazing.
It is awesome.
And the
Well,
whole
it's kind of like the Darth Vader rising in Episode 3. It's a cool visual shot, and then no! We're in this one, cool speeder bike chase, and then teddy bears that take down the Galactic Empire.
But they didn't take it down in that scene. They weren't introduced till after Princess Leia was shot down by other scout troopers.
Like I said, it was the very end of.
All right, anybody else?
I hate the scene where they're in that little boat thing going through the underwater world, and they're running from all the there's always a bigger fish.
The planet core.
Yeah, that I thought that was fucking retarded.
And how is the planet core liquid also? Like, how the fuck does that happen?
I don't know. I'm gonna just say it's Star Wars logic. but I'm with you. Normally, that's one thing I liked about the old Star Wars movies. They kind of kept the like real world sensibilities. It was just like futuristic and slightly different.
Exactly. Like, I don't get how the inside of the planet is liquid, but what the fuck do I know?
I think that's why Star Wars truly works to a degree, because it is fantasy, but it's not too much fantasy. That's why shit like Dune is a flop. One, it's a shit movie, and two,
Dune is oh god. I watched Dune twice. That was a mistake.
I tried watching Hodorowski's Dune last night, that documentary.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that documentary.
I thought I was gonna like it. I did not.
Was it just really like long and arduous to watch?
No, in the middle of a copy you sent me, it goes, "This is a pirated copy. Your audio's been removed."
Really?
Yeah. I went,
Well, fuck.
maybe I watched The Room instead.
Well, fuck, I'm sorry.
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Batman Forever is amazing to watch in high def.
So you didn't get to the part, Jeff, in the documentary where Jodorowsky is like, I take the book and I rape it like a bride. Like, I make it my bride, I rape it and make it my own. You didn't get to that
What
part?
the fuck?
No, the audio cut out after it talks about that movie he's in, the Western movie he made that he was actually in.
Holy Mountain or...
It was one word, I think, like with a B.
Hmm.
It was honestly, it was like the first 30 minutes, and then I was like, well, there's no subtitles, so half the movie was lost anyway, because that guy kept speaking French.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I don't speak French, so whatever. I understand Spanish.
If you ever get a chance to watch like the full documentary as it should be, it's actually super interesting.
I wanted to watch it because of Mobius and all that shit, but I don't know. I've seen the real Dune, and it's garbage.
Yeah, I think I can. I know I can get you the DVD rip at some point. I'll do that when I think about it.
No big deal.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to leave episode 7 out of this because my thoughts on that movie are already well known on this channel. I don't like it. There's really no redeeming value. Anything I do like from it is already in episode 4, so why give it that credit? It just stole it. Worst scene in Star Wars has got to go to the whole Camino scene on episode 2, where where Obi-Wan goes into Jango Fett's apartment. That's so dumb. Just bad performance. He like sees the armor and he doesn't do anything there. The whole clone army idea is retarded, in my opinion. They took one line of dialogue from a movie and they turned it into a franchise. Good for money, bad for story.
I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, of all the shit that's in episode 2, that one I don't have any problem with. Especially as far as him. The scene doesn't bother me. The thought behind the fact of letting him aware that he knows that now that the fucking Jedi are on his trail seemed kind of dumb. But yeah, I don't think it's one of the worst scenes in Star Wars.
So tell me what the worst scene in Star Wars is, Dion.
Just anything with Jar Jar Binks, man. It's so disheartening. So disheartening. Probably when he gets his fucking face caught in the streams between on the speeder.
My
and he's
tongue's
fucking
numb?
his tongue's numb
My
and he's
tongue's
talking.
numb.
God. I'm just like, I remember being a kid and being like, fuck you.
Ready?
Yeah, but he's supposed to be like, the crazy, awesome, unknown dark Jedi.
I hate
Dan, what
that
do you got to
series
say?
so much.
Ready? Swerve. My best moment's also the worst moment.
Hashtag triggered.
I just, people are like, oh, we waited all these years and Star Wars was bad. Yeah, that's how I felt as a kid. I mean, anyone goes, oh, it's a movie made for kids. What part of episode 1 is truly made for kids? The geopolitics? The whole trade dispute? Using words that kids don't know because they're real world things they don't learn about until they're adults or don't learn about at all? It's
All the murder.
Episode 1 is a hard sell.
No. You know what was the thing about for kids, right? It was the whole slavery bit. Because kids love slavery.
Yeah.
They go ape
So
with slavery.
when I was a kid, that was always my favorite chapter in social studies, slavery, and how it relates to Star Wars. It's such a good topic.
Rosa Parks was my favorite character in Star Wars.
Do you remember when we saw that Rosa Parks statue in Texas?
Remember when she refused to go to the back of the Millennium Falcon?
Okay, Phil, that was a good damn joke.
Thank you.
That was really good. I'm proud of you, Wilford.
All right, well, I guess we'll... Loudy, do you have a bad scene that you want to say before we close it out?
Oh, Just their entire time in the underwater city was just. I'm surprised I didn't develop a drinking problem at the age of 11.
That'd have been impressive. That'd have been really impressive.
Yeah, Boss Nass and the Gungans, dumb creatures. Like, the old Star Wars had great character designs. They really haven't nailed it on the hit the nail on the head yet with the new creature design. I don't think anything's too iconic yet.
Nope.
What I will say though, the funniest scene probably is episode 2 when Anakin and Padme are on Naboo and they're by the fire and it just kind of comes out of nowhere and he's just all like, "When I fucking see you, and then I'm haunted by the kiss, and then the best part is when he looks at her with a dead serious look on his face and he goes, 'We could keep it a secret.'" I laugh every time I see that because and his head goes forward a little bit. And he goes, "We could keep it a secret." I'm like, are you fucking 7? Did you guys just steal fucking cookies out of the kitchen from Nana's house? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure Anakin says it to all the girls he rapes.
I was just about to
my
say, it's
God.
like the ultimate rape face. We could keep it a secret.
It's so funny. It's like, it's not even like bad, but it's like funny bad because he's like, "I am haunted by the kiss you should never have given me." And I'm like, first of all, why are we here? Why do I need to see this? And then, "We could keep it a secret."
We could keep it
It's so good. It's so good.
I think
Yeah, he sounds just fucking Herbert from Family Guy. "We could keep it a secret."
Keep it a secret.
Oh.
No one has to know.
I think the a genuinely funny moment for me. I'm surprised no one brought up Empire Strikes Back for great moments. Like, really, everything was from episode 1, 4, or 3. So no Empire love, but that's cool. But I think the funniest scene comes from Empire when Han's like, they're on the Millennium Falcon and Han's like, "We don't have time to discuss this with committee."
That was
Like,
just
"I'm
thinking
not a
that.
committee," and runs off. I think Empire's got the funniest moments.
It's
I don't-
really good. I fucking love the shit out of Empire.
Or when Han's like, "We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?"
No, or fucking, "Come on, Golden Rod, you're gonna be a permanent resident."
He's got the best lines of all the movies. I mean, he doesn't have
Oh.
like iconic Darth Vader lines, but for just normal dialogue, shit that you can just pass, quote in passing for a good laugh, I'll give it to Han Solo.
Who
I
are you
don't know,
calling
man.
scruffy looking?
His line where, his fucking buddy is trapped out in the goddamn frozen tundra where your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker, that "I'll see you in hell." That
Yeah.
is so cool. That encapsulates the character that he becomes after A New Hope, where he's just like, "You know what? Fuck it, dude. I'll see you in hell." And he just fucking leaves. And it's like, I want to be that guy. Like, your friend is in danger and you're just like, "Well, I'll see you in hell, then, asshole. Deuces."
And then that moment of tension between him and Luke when Luke's getting ready to go off and fight in the Battle of Hoth, and Han's working on the Millennium Falcon, where he's
Yeah.
like, "Be safe out there," and they're like, and Han's like looking at him like, "I want her, but she likes you," and all that shit. See, I firmly believe that she was never meant to be his sister.
Yeah.
We know
I
that he
think
wasn't
so.
meant to be his sister. We all know that. It
I would
wasn't
just
changed to
I
the
would
end
just
of
love to hear
filming
someone's
for
argument
Empire.
like, "Oh, they were always brother and sister." No.
No, they weren't.
Then you come from the country part of Star Wars, because that's some incestuous bullshit. If
They
you,
was always brother and sister, I'll tell you what.
Jesus, you are a perv, dude.
Yes, sirree. Spank, spank, spank.
You sound like Bob. You sound like original George Bush.
I sound like what?
George Bush Senior. Well, that's been this week's show where we discussed our top Star Wars moments. We actually discussed our least favorite Star Wars moments and the funniest Star Wars moments. So, list your best Star Wars moments in the comments section below after you give this video a like and share it, of course. And now it's time for some social media. So, Dion, I'm checking the emails, and I got some good news.
Ooh.
Bruce Kilroy liked one of our tweets.
I know
Say
who that is.
what?
Actually, the good news is Goop.com sent us another email today at 9:45 p.m.
Oh.
titled
Yes.
Decoding the Kid. You
You know
know,
what? Go ahead and forward that to me. I can't wait to use my new fucking pizza cutter with Gwyneth Paltrow's face on the back so I can look at it and touch my anus.
well, according to Gwyneth Paltrow, the ideal child's meal consists of carrot sticks, cucumbers, raw onions, 2 mushrooms, some red peppers, what looks like Nutella on toast with chia seeds, and then some gelatinous yellow shit that looks disgusting.
Shit,
So-
I usually just give my kid a multivitamin with peanut butter smeared on the top.
I'm just all I can say is I'm so glad that my mom's not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Could you
Your mother
imagine
sounds
growing
like
up?
the worst fucking mom ever.
Sounds like some namby-pamby vegan bullshit.
Mhm.
Exactly. God.
So over on Facebook, where our videos live, over on YouTube, where our videos live, we had about 3 videos come out since we've last met. Nick, I got some good news. A few of our listeners think Strip Club Massacre sounds awesome, and they can't wait to see it.
Fuck yeah.
I know we just talked yesterday, but are there any new updates you want to share?
Me and Bob, the director, worked that day that we did the podcast and the day after that, and we're even closer now to finishing the movie. Yeah.
Bob the director and I.
I'm fucking
Bob Dole.
sorry. I didn't realize you were a fucking English major.
He's
He's
not.
not.
Sorry.
He's Samoan.
okay.
He doesn't have to learn English.
Yeah, I'm from a foreign country. Goddammit, respect my culture.
Bob the director sounds like a terrible kid show.
No. You're thinking of Bob the Dictator. That's different.
Dick.
Oh.
No, I'm thinking of Bob the director.
Dick.
So last week when we recorded our Marvel vs. DC film episode, we had a lot of comments, which I don't have time to read all 103 of. Unreal Turbo says, fuck Kylo Ren, he started off so well, and then it's like they had a debate on how can they make Kylo Ren the worst Star Wars character in existence. Todd Howard, the artist formerly known as Straight White Christian Male, says, Brian Lape is a handsome stud. Okay. I'm sure Brian will listen to this episode, and thank
Okay,
you,
bro.
Todd. Let's see. Kinvig6690 said that my story was bloody good, and I should write a book about it. He said it's better than the shit DC's pulling right now. So thank you. CZ Joker says, thanks to Augs for Present for sharing the channel. And so I want to say thanks to Augs for Present for sharing our channel, because, you know, our channel's been growing, man, ever since you've been spreading the good word, so we appreciate that. Let's see.
You know the only thing that would make Augs better
What?
is if you visited incarnatestudios.com. Don't forget the hyphen. New t-shirts every week, just $20. Show your fandom. Help us out, incarnatestudios.com.
Ooh, don't forget that hyphen.
Become a Hall of
God
Famer and
damn,
buy a
he's
World Class
good at
Bullshitters
that.
t-shirt.
Yeah, that is true. If you do purchase an official World Class Bullshitters t-shirt, you are entered into the Hall of Fame. And now that I've found him, I found my World Class Bullshitters certificate. So if you have purchased a World Class Bullshitters shirt already and you would like a certificate, just send me a message, preferably via email, which is worldclassbs@mail.com, and I will get you one of those.
It's the best mail.
.com.
Let's see. Who else has anything good to say? Well, everybody has good stuff to say. Cape Crusader, another shout out to you, man. Good comments. All right, this comes from Bai LaBao.
Oh, what a faggot.
Sounds French.
No,
No,
it's
Bao Bao is actually Chinese for I take it in the ass.
Oh.
In case you guys didn't know.
I
was not aware.
didn't realize you knew Chinese.
I know that phrase, obviously.
Now, in Chinese, are you referring to Mandarin or Cantonese? Which one?
Ching Chong Che.
Okay.
So this one says, this comes from Andrew Hart. Just watch the extended BVS cut, which we'll be recording a commentary for tomorrow night. While it's not amazing, it's serviceable to the DCEU and sets up the Justice League. Suicide Squad did absolutely nothing to build up the universe other than Flash and the Batman cameo. Only reason this movie exists is to sell licensed Hot Topic merchandise. I agree. By the way, I'm putting out a parody T-shirt of Daddy's Little Monster shirt next week, so be on the lookout for that.
Fuck yeah.
I went and watched Suicide Squad again because my cousin Tim wanted to see it. And two things jumped out at me. One, Viola Davis is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors. And I'll even give her the honor of calling her an actor, not an actress. And two, that fucking Enchantress is the most garbage goddamn villain I've ever seen.
I won't watch that movie again unless you, I don't know, pay for it or take me. If you pick me up from my house, pay for the ticket, buy me popcorn and a drink, I will go watch it again.
What about a hand job?
Yeah.
What if drunken podcast request?
Of Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Well, when it comes out, sure. I'm not going to go drunkenly go watch it and record a commentary as we're in the theater.
What if we drunkenly walk into the theater?
if somebody can get us a way to record, because they don't have Wi-Fi in that theater.
That's right.
We'll get Jeff so drunk that he'll walk into the theater and think he has a laptop recording a review. And he'll just talk throughout the whole movie, and it'll just piss everybody in the theater off.
It'll piss all one other person watching the movie off.
Exactly.
Hey, my phone can live stream to YouTube.
Boom.
There we go, Loudy, with your YouTube Red shit.
No, that's just me having a Note 5.
I can do it. I think I can do it on my phone too.
Anything from the Note 5 on up, so Phil has the capability to.
There you go. Pretty much the rest of the comments are just people saying how much they enjoyed the episode. Now, on the other hand, we released a Leslie Jones episode overnight, and there's been a lot of good and bad comments. Surprisingly, the Leslie Jones episode has more views already than last week's episode.
I want to hear all the bad comments.
And it has 66 comments. One of the comments was this guy's like, I bet Leslie Jones is more successful than you all, blah, blah, blah. And I just removed the comment. I thought, whatever, dude. Don't talk shit to the fans.
You know the only way I would have sex with Leslie Jones?
She was
If
dead.
she didn't want it.
What if she was dead?
She doesn't
Takes
want
all the
anything.
struggle
Then.
out of it.
What did you say?
It takes away all the struggle out of it.
I know.
These are some stupid... whatever. I'm not going to read this lady's tweets. They're retarded. Wow, she is constantly commenting. I should just block this user. Anyway, why would anyone want to look at nude photos of her, says Brian Lape. Helen Tan says, I disagree that she's second from the bottom, because honestly, I'd rather see her naked than Hillary Clinton or Melissa McCarthy. As for which four I wouldn't mind seeing naked, I would go with Kate McKinnon. Good man. Justin B6699 says, why did she have those pictures on her phone in the first place? Who the fuck were they for? You know, besides her defenders or normal people wishing to only be sexually interested in men, seeing one picture. Oh, but on the other hand, after learning that she... Well, never mind. But in the end, after learning what she does worse than Milo concerning her Twitter, it's great to see that karma has good aim. And then the rest are just people saying it's the anti-fappening. Gert Mathis says, my day is ruined. Sci-Fi Savage says, better her than that Leviathan Melissa McCarthy. Alex for President responds with, she actually did leak some nudes. It's just that her ass is so fat the picture is still sending.
Oh, that is great. That's comment of the week right there.
Yeah, that is comment of the week. Fuck it. You win, Oggs. You win. That's tonight's show. Let's end on a high note. This is World Class Bullshitters. Every Thursday night, we take a dump on the world of pop culture. If you like this show, give us a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And if you really want to be a good fan, go to incarnatestudios.com, pick up a t-shirt, and if you get the official shirt, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Don't
Don't
forget
forget the hyphen.
Yeah, don't forget that goddamn hyphen. I'm going to have it tattooed on everyone's forehead. Don't forget the goddamn hyphen. If you're into social media, hit us up on Facebook. We got 2 pages, World Class Bullshitters, and we have the official World Class Bullshitters fan page, which you can comment on, you can send us links, and we'll probably read them on air because we've already done that before. Shout out to Timothy Riggs again for some of those articles you sent me. If you're into Twitter, Dion takes care of the good Twitters. We are World Class BS on Twitter, correct, Dion?
Yes, sir.
And finally, if you're old school and you like sending emails, because, we all do, you can send an email to worldclassbs@mail.com. The best mail.
.com.
Boom. Welcome back, Dan.
.com.
Why?
.com.
We should get .xxx.
That'd be awesome.
Daddy's.
What'd you say, Dustin?
.com.
.com. Worldclassbs@mail.com. Ugh.
The best mail.com.
Dot sploosh.
I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I'm the man with the plan and the original tan, and yes, I'm gonna get pictures of Dustin's anus, and please hack my phone.
You know that old computer that got stolen? I had one of those when we were on Chat Roulette.
I'm Rowdy Loudy, and girls, I'm gonna steal your shorts.
All right, he updated it.
I'm the Dr. Phil Sites. Don't forget to brush your ass. Hashtag Dixon for Leslie.
I've been your friendly neighborhood Samoan.
I'm a closeted homosexual, and this is probably my last time on WCBS for a while.
Dan, you better have a better one, and don't you dare shit the bed.
I was dead for a week. Harambe is kind of a dick. He deserved a good shot.
Good job, good job. Well, that's this week's show. We'll be back tomorrow
Little
night
week.
with some. Yeah, what'd you say?
That was Little Week.
Little week.
About the week,
Let me tell you guys something. I've recently been kidnapped by Rita Repulsa, and she's slowly turning me into a putty patroller. So this and then you punch me in the Z and I die. So don't touch my chest, goddammit. I feel I can't go swim with you ever again, or else I'll turn to clay.
Oh, damn.
All right, so this was episode 39. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for the BVS unrated cut drunk commentary, and have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Tits.
The track you're listening to is titled The Young OG by Corey Price. Check him out at reverbnation.com/YP513 to download his free tracks. Also, check him out on Instagram and Twitter at RatedCPG.